What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Doing well out there. Let me get the link out for y'all. All right, there we go. What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys are free tonight for another episode of my live streams. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I know a lot of y'all have been waiting for this week's episode and wondering what the topics were. Just a quick heads up, guys. If you guys are wondering what topics I will be discussing, kind of want to get some votes out there because I usually have the topics in mind, but I don't reveal the topic until I'm actually live. So I think for some people, because I'm into so many different things, you know, I tend to attract certain different audience members who follow me for certain things. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of like I have to be catering to a certain crowd. So I know some people will tune in. Like last week, I talked about wrestling primarily. And, you know, not everybody that follows me is into wrestling. So basically, you know, I want to try and give you guys a heads up because not everybody is into everything that I'm into. So primarily, a lot of people follow me for my jersey stuff. A lot of people follow me for other things as well that I'm into, like streetwear, sneakers, pop culture, collecting in general. So I try to cater to everybody. Yo, King Leonidas, what is up, brother? You know, I appreciate you, man, for hopping on. I know you're a busy man, so always means a lot when I see you hop on my lives. Bay Area Throwbacks, what's good, brother? What up, man? What up, what up, what up? So yeah, basically, if you guys see the title here, the topic is pretty much for collectors. So I had a couple of people who expressed interest in going live with me tonight, some new faces. And, you know, we kind of just, they said they wanted to hop on, so I'm going to send them the links. So if they want to tap in, they are more than welcome. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight, man? Hope you guys are doing well. So let me go back to my screen. Howdy, I got to catch the stream later. I got to head into work early tonight. Yeah, it's all good, Jake, man. Appreciate you stopping by like always, regardless of what the topic is. But let me get my H2O. You know, I just got to talk about collecting, man. Collecting in general. And basically, let me show you guys the outfit. Yes, what's up, JMAC? Rocking part of the Cena gear. This is actually rocking the J Rich Authentic Adidas. This is the alternate Golden State Warriors jersey. Thought I blended a little bit with my I actually just got this pickup in. Oh, my hair's all crazy right now, guys. But I just got this pickup in right now. I got this hat for a hell of a deal. This is actually a really old hat. This hat came out in 2008. So it's a John Cena WWE Chain Gang Hustle, Loyalty, Respect hat right here. And Cena actually wore this hat at the 2008 Royal Rumble. You should definitely check that out. You guys are, if you want to reference some wrestling stuff. But, you know, chilling. Just got home from work a little while ago. Nice jersey. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, Songbird Lex? So, all right, we got a guest that wants to hop on. I'm going to let him hop in, and we're going to kind of discuss topic and see how it goes right here. Yo.
I'll put my mic on.
What's up, King?
What's good?
What's up, man?
Chilling.
Thanks for hopping in. What's up, brother?
Chilling. Can't complain. I'm at work currently. They got us on standby because we have a hurricane warning Well, not
Yeah.
hurricane, the residue of a hurricane, and we had a bunch of tornado warnings, and so I'm on standby for the moment. But
Okay.
figured I'd chop it in.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. It's always I always value your opinion and just like overall collectors. Hold on, we got another guest that wants to hop on right here. What is good in the hood? My God, these are two Jersey legends right here, side by side my screen right here, man. But what's up, man?
What's up, guys? What's up?
What up?
Not much, man. Just chilling. I just got off of work not too long ago. And you already know how it is, man. Every Wednesdays, I do apologize. I'm a couple minutes late, you know, Filipino time, but you know that's how we do. But yeah. So this week's topic, man, I kind of wanted to you know, focus on some things about collecting, you know, because I know we're all Jersey heads, like on my screen right now, but obviously the amount of jerseys that we wear and buys, you know, we collect the stuff, you know, so we're also collectors in a sense. And I know for you, King, and even you as well, Mac, I know you collect a lot of different, we all collect different things, you know, like I know you're really big with the sneaker game, King, and you have a lot of jerseys. And, you know, with Mac, I know you're into jerseys too, but I know you also collect like comics, you know, cards, and other things, you know, memorabilia of that nature. But like, I guess like, obviously the title, you know, is pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to kind of just leave this conversation to kind of break the ice a little bit. But like, when do you guys, or do you guys feel like collecting, like there needs to be a certain point where you just have to say like, enough's enough?
Matt, you want to go?
Why? Because I've been in it the longest. Yeah, man. I mean, I think, yeah, definitely. Like for me, you know, I think at my peak, I probably had like 350, like 400 jerseys, and you know, like 2, 3 huge rolling racks. Like if you look at my first YouTube video, I think that was probably close to the peak. And I mean, I started collecting like jerseys for like every team, every colorway, home, road, alternate, like whether I like the team or not. I mean, if you try hard enough, you can justify buying like any player, you know, any team. Or like, oh, I want to get that because of that shot that they hit against this team, or oh, the playoff run that they had. Yeah, I'm going to get this guy. And I think, you know, like you alluded to, it gets to a point where you've got so many that you're literally like, when the hell am I ever going to wear these? You know, like even if I had enough to wear a different jersey every day, like for a year.
Yeah.
And like, if I work my regular 9-to-5 job, like when am I going to do that? Like, so they're just sitting there. Right. So then it becomes like almost like having money tied up in opportunity costs. Like if you have that money invested in these jerseys and they're not really doing anything, like what purpose are they serving? So that kind of gets you into that mindset. And, you know, now, as you also mentioned, that doesn't mean that can't like kind of flood over into other areas. And I've kind of started looking at things almost like an investment portfolio for myself, like where I look at long-term investments, things that I know are valuable and like they're going to go up in value, things that I just are kind of like my fun money, you know, that other people may not see as much value in them as I do, but I still want to have them. I still want to collect them. And then with cards and comics, I kind of look at those almost like equity portfolios and bond portfolios, because cards are very fast moving and volatile. So I kind of look at those like stocks. And then I look at comic books like bonds, because, you know, they're a little bit more stable. You're not going to see as much fluctuation with them as you would with like the card market. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. And I just kind of try to allocate it appropriately and not get like too crazy in one thing or another, because they're all fun to me. So
Right.
So, mhm.
No,
Now,
what about
Matt,
you?
quick question. Do you find I guess the financial part of collecting, has that like superseded the fun part of collecting, or you still try to find a balance?
yeah, I think it's about finding the balance, you know? Like with the
Mm,
cards and comics, I try not to get too attached to them, you know? Like I'm looking at them more like I may make a selection on what I want to buy based on whether or not I like the player. I think they're going to be a good player in the future. But I also don't have an attachment to them in the sense of like, yo, I'm not getting rid of this. Like I can never sell this, you know, whereas like my LJ jerseys, like my gamers, I'm like, yo, I'm not selling those. Like my Patriots jerseys, I'm not selling those, you know?
mm,
So yeah, I think there is a difference. Now, if I traded into like a Jordan rookie, like a Kobe rookie, like a Brady rookie, that's different. Like that's
mm.
some, put that in your lockbox and just like let it sit and you have it and it's a great investment. And it's and it would be a player that I'd really like a lot. Like those are the goals. So like anything else that I'm using, I'm just trying to like flip it to get to that point basically.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. King, I mean, like, what's your thoughts on the whole thing? Because you got a massive
Ooh.
collection yourself, man.
So it's so funny. So I had to hop on this because I'm literally making a list right now on my iPhone, the Notes app, and I got sneakers for sale that I want to put on there.
There you go.
And
We've all been there.
Right.
Your
can you see
audio
me?
cut out, King.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Yeah, you're good.
So for the first time, I'm actually putting jerseys on that list. You can see jerseys for sale. Yeah, bro, I need to do something, man. This shit is getting nutty. So basically, here's my issue that I need to kind of get myself out of is I love collecting certain players. It don't matter what it is. So if it's LeBron, for example, I want to get his all his jerseys, but it gets to the point where it gets kind of silly because there's no reason I should have ever bought a Toon Squad jersey. There's no like dope. Like I know, Rez. I know you did the review, and I'm definitely not hating on you. But at the end of the day, I'm like, what am I doing? That's $120 for no reason. I'm never gonna probably wear it, and if I do, I'll wear it once.
Right.
When I have 400 plus jerseys, like you said, or 300 plus jerseys, I have 400 plus sneakers. So it's starting to get to the point now where I need to kind of dwindle down and only keep the stuff I love. And that's where I'm at going forward. So like I'm gonna, post up and put out a lot of jerseys that I'm gonna get rid of. If I love it, I'll keep it. So everything Mike, everything Kobe, everything LeBron, except Toon Squad. Um, so there's certain things. Like another example, I just did a Pat Mahomes review on his Elite jersey, and it's the white one. But I also have the limited jersey. So now it's getting to the point where I don't need both. Like
Right.
I have swingmans of the same player that I have authentics to, and I need to just start dialing down because I still love the game. That's the problem, but I need to be a little smarter with the game.
Yeah.
So and I love sneakers, but I spend so much less money on sneakers nowadays, which is great because I have everything. There's no reason for me to get a 13th colorway of a Jordan 1 that's black and red. This shit is getting insane. So so that's where I'm kind of at now. That's why I had to jump on this because I have to really kind of look at myself now and say, you know what? Let me start dialing in my collection a little bit. It's still going to be a great collection. It's still going to be dope shit that I want to just wear and just pop on every once in a while. But I really need to start dialing it down. I don't need Jordan 7 Tinkers, for example. You know what I'm saying? As long as I have the OGs, which was my original My original thing was if I can grab Jordan OG colorways, that's what I wanted the most. If I can grab LeBron OG colorways, but now, yeah, it's getting ridiculous. So I'm really trying to dial in a lot of my stuff and see what I could get rid of.
That's what's up. Hold that thought because I have 2 guests in the waiting room. I'm gonna let them in right now. So, all right, yo, what is good, guys? Thank you for being patient with me in the waiting room. I just wanted to get these guys kind of speak their thoughts. But welcome to tonight's episode 11. The title, of this video is basically collecting. So we all have been kind of discussing, our little, dabbles of collecting and whatnot. Let me actually add one more person who just wanted to get in right here. Salute to Bay Area Throwbacks. What's up, bro? Thank you for tuning in. So we got a full house right now, man. So this is great because there's a lot of different collectors in here and thought processes of how we go about collecting, man. But I think it's safe to say that everybody in this room has been collecting for a long time. I could say that. I could vouch for that. But let me highlight the comments real quick before I start going around the participants in this live stream. J-Dub said, I started off with 1 a year ago and fast forwarded, I have 42. Okay. Like Benjamin says, I just unfollowed every sneaker and jersey page I follow. It's crazy. This video. He says on Instagram, J-Dub again, ever since Fanatics gave the option to pay with quad pay, I've been spending a bag. Yes, I totally get you, bro. Hey guys, there's a sale going on. Mitchell and Ness website, 25% off site wide. I might have like a jersey or 2 in my cart right now that's pending.
Naughty boy.
Yo, salute to A-Rock. What's up, bro? Miss you, man. How's it? Yo, A-Rock, you gotta hop on here, man. If you got some time, bro, you gotta say what's up, man. But yeah. So going back to my 5 other guests in here, man. The whole thing with collecting, man. Like, obviously, like we're all getting to a point now, or we've already got to that point where we started selling things off, and like I'm kind of in that position myself. I know for those of you guys who follow me, like you guys see me like post a lot of pickups and stuff like that. But on the side, I'm actually selling stuff too. Maybe not as much as I would like to, but I'm finding it now get to a point where it's like I can't keep everything. That's just the way it is, That's just kind of the name of the game type of thing. But on the flip side, like when you see collectors like Mighty Mouse Fan, and I'm not knocking any of these guys, or Big Slim, like these guys have like, it's insane how much like collection they have. It's almost not even like a collection at that point. It's like a warehouse, and I'm not knocking them in any way or that, because I got mad respect to those guys, also Jersey legends in this whole community here. But like, if I had the collection that those guys had, I probably would lose my shit. Like, I'm not even joking, because it's just so much. Like, there's not enough time in the day for me to wear a jersey every single day. Like, literally, they could be wearing jerseys for like, I want to say like almost like 5 years.
Yeah, like 3 to 5. Yeah.
Which is nuts. Like, you basically could wear a different jersey every single day for 5 years straight. Like, let that sink in, people. Like, that is insane. You know what I mean? So like, I know I'm curious to see where Mighty Mouse Fan is going to end up. Like, is that ever going to happen to him? Because, obviously it's going to get to a point where at least I think he will realize, like, hey, like, this is too much, man. Like, I can't control this. So I'm glad that Snacks, I'm glad you hopped on here, man, because I think you're a good example of one of those collectors that I've personally known for a long time who started to sell off a lot of your stuff. And big shout out to you, man, on getting your new car and basically, taking care of priorities, bro. But like kind of guide us through the thought process of like how you came to the realization, like, yo, like I have shit that I need to take care of in my life. And this is stuff that I've been collecting. You know, I lost a lot of sleep trying to, like, you know, get all these items and sacrifices. But like, how did you come up with the whole thought process to just let it go and not look back?
I just always feel like I always tell everybody, there's different levels of collecting, and I feel like everybody goes through phases in collecting. You go through the phase, like I'm talking about personally for me, but a lot of people can relate because we're all jersey heads and we're all collectors. We go through the phase of like, I need everything. I don't care what it is. I just want it in my closet. I want to have that cool picture, or the cool picture with all the sneakers in the background, the closet full of jerseys. I want to experience that. I want to be a jersey. I want to learn. I want to feel and touch everything that the jersey community can bring. And then you go through the phases of like, all right, cool. I'm going to narrow it down to just my teams. I'm just going to collect my teams. I'm going to collect the people that I grew up watching. I'm just going to collect 90s players. There's different, like I said, everybody goes through phases in their collecting career. Like right now, Leo, you yourself, a year from now, your whole mentality of collecting is going to be different. And I feel like I've gone through like a roller coaster ride. You know what I'm saying? As far as collecting, as far as like, obviously with style, our collecting changes with style. Like we used to wear size 60s and you know, all the way down to our knees and shit like that. Then we had to get rid of those jerseys. Then we had to like restock on a slimmer fit jersey. You know what I'm saying? We all, you know, obviously I lost weight. I got rid of all my 60s and 56 and stuff. And then, you know, I started wearing smaller stuff. And, you know, like I said, there's different levels to it. When it gets to the point that you're not, like for me, for sneakers, it's like one of those things, like I work Monday through Friday. I don't get to enjoy my sneakers. It's dope to have that latest sneaker, but when am I actually going to wear it? And the thing is, as people that have sneakerheads here, like when you have the weekend, you get to like, okay, I'm going to wear this sneaker. I'm going to wear a pair of sneakers. You always go back to like the most comfortable sneaker in your collection. You never end up wearing that sneaker that you've been like spending mad money on. You just ended up going to your go-to. For my mentality was, the good thing about our hobby, that it has resale value. And you might not, with sneakers has resale value for real, but with jerseys, you're not going to get what you paid for. Basically, it depends. But I just feel like looking at that sneaker wall that I had in my room, I felt like it was overpowering me. It's different with other people. They have different like sneaker rooms and stuff like that. But I felt like this wall was just towering over me. And then seeing that, I feel like I'm babbling now. I'm sorry. But I just feel like, these sneakers are meant to be worn, and these sneakers are eventually gonna die on you. They're gonna crumble. I don't care how pristine you keep them. They're gonna end up crumbling on you. Every sneaker has a lifespan. I'm talking about the sneaker itself. So that made me decide, like, you know what? I have all these sneakers, and I always end up wearing the same sneaker every weekend when I do have a chance to wear them. Because during the week, I'm working. I'm wearing my work stuff. And I come home, I'm not like getting dressed up to go out again with sneakers and stuff like that. So that's the mentality that I had. And, you know, little by little, I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of these sneakers. It's not doing anything for me, but sitting in boxes and looking pretty. It's cool to post on Instagram how the wall looks, and it's really cool. So I decided a year ago, you know, obviously I don't buy Jordans and stuff like that. So I buy Ewings. Like, it took a little longer it took a little longer to get rid of my stuff, but I did. You know, some I gave away, some I sold them for dirt cheap, but the money starts adding up. And that got me an opportunity to get myself a car. So my hobby helped me get a car, which is dope. And the thing is, I think the worst thing as collectors that we do is look at our closets and see like, man, I got like $20,000, $30,000 worth of jerseys. What could I done with? I could have had a house. I could have done this. That's the thing I try not, as a collector, my advice, yo, don't ever look at your collection as, man, I could have had this, that, if I didn't buy that. So like I said, I'm at a point in my life with jerseys, I'm enjoying them. What I have in my closet, I'm trying to enjoy them, wear them, and just enjoy the fucking jersey. Sometimes we're so worried about the next come up that we don't enjoy the jersey that we have in our closets now. And we don't wear them. Sometimes we don't even wear them. You know what I'm saying? So my bad. I'm sorry for like keep talking, but go ahead, the next person, man. That's just my opinion.
You're good, man. I want to hear everybody's perspective, man. So JMAC, Bay Area Throwbacks, if you guys want to chime in, because I know you guys haven't said anything, but if you guys want to chime into this topic, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this whole thing, man.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
So I was gonna say how like Throwback King was saying like the different what you call it, the different or stages you were talking about. And I remember I went through that at like 20. I'm 29 now, so I was maybe like 22. I remember, and I felt like I was working at a little grocery store job. I had a couple thousand saved up, and I thought at that time I thought I had money, having like 2,000 in my bank account, you know, just bagging groceries and stuff. So I was buying all type of Mitchell and Ness, all jerseys, different teams. Now I only collect my teams, but back then I had all different jerseys. And then that's when at a point I started running low on money, and I was like, damn. So I started selling off all the ones that weren't my teams, and then that's when I started becoming just a strictly my team jersey guy, because I felt like if you know, if I'm gonna be spending money on it personally, I want it to mean something that I could wear to the game and I could root for my teams or whatever. So I kind of went through that stage when I was younger a little bit, where I switched from all different teams to just my team. So that was something that I when I was younger, I'd already hit that, switching up my style of collecting. But now, obviously, now I have a better job and stuff, so I could get some stuff. But I feel like, for me at least, I feel like it's affecting me in a bad way if it gets to a point where, like, I can, you know, as long as I can pay my bills, I got my money saved up for at least 6 months forward if shit goes bad, and I'm saving toward, you know, getting my future when I get a house and all that, and, you know, I have money in stocks. For me, I think it's cool. I think once it starts affecting you, where you can't, you know, handle what you need to handle as a, you know, adult, then that's when it starts becoming an issue, in my opinion.
Got it. JMAC, how about you, man?
Oh man, I kind of got a lot to say, but
Let's hear it.
It's not all that necessary. I mean that guy. I don't remember who it was. He said he's been collecting 1 year and he has 40. I mean, that's kind of like how I was. I mean, because even though I've been passionate about basketball since I was a little kid, and in middle school I had a little collection of the champion replicas, but from then until now, I only had a few years ago, I should say, I only had a few jerseys in my closet, maybe like 10, I don't know, 5, 10, and it was mostly Heat stuff. You know, because I've always been a Heat fan. But a few years ago is when I really started collecting, and now I've got about, I don't know, I think 75, 80. I've probably bought like 100 and sold like 20 of them maybe, you know, and I only pretty much sell the ones that I buy and then I'm like, why did I do that? Or I buy and then I have like a similar one, or like there's something I really, really want. So I'm like, all right, I can get rid of these to get, like some of you guys were saying, to get a bigger one that I really want. But I don't make money on that, you know? That's the thing about it. It's not like the sneaker game. Like, I don't make money doing that. I don't flip them like that. I'm not like a reseller. I just pretty much only sell to make a little money back so that I can just feed the habit, basically. Maybe I'll bring up something that any of you guys could relate to, which is I had you know, in the last, I don't know, 5 years, 5, 7 years, something like that.
Hey, real quick, Jay, do you have two screens open? Because I can hear you echoing. I don't know if you have.
It just started, right?
Yeah. Okay, you're good now. I don't hear it anymore.
No, because I know I think I closed that thing. That's why I was echoing that other time.
It's all good.
But anyway, yeah. So I had somewhat recent health issues, and you know, everybody, like, serious issues, and then I dealt with cancer. So I only have one lung now. I went through a lot of shit, a lot of surgeries. Only reason I'm telling you that is because, like, with that, and then, like, everybody goes through difficult things in their life, right? And I was going through for maybe a year where, I mean, longer than that, but really like about a year where it was like really shitty, where I was feeling bad about my job. So like, it's like, I think that's definitely something where I know for me, whether it's conscious or subconscious, it's not like I'm feeling shitty, let me buy all this shit. But it just happens. You know, like, so I think, like, because it makes you feel good. You know what I mean? So I think that people going through any kind of like depression might be more susceptible to so what does that mean for you guys that have like thousands of jerseys? No, I'm kidding. No, but no, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that. You know, you can get it simply because you're addicted. Like, it doesn't have. You don't have. You could be feeling great. I mean, that's the thing about it. But I'm just saying, it could be. That could be one reason why someone might, you know, kind of get. It's not. I still am passionate about it. I would be doing it anyway, you know. But it's like more frequently. It's like you're always looking on eBay and stuff, you know.
Hey, Jay, I can interrupt. I can relate what you're saying, because for some, you know, I sometimes buying jerseys is it kind of fills a void for something else. Sometimes buying a jersey and the whole process of getting the tracking and watching the tracking and getting it, whatever, it kind of brings joy to you. It kind of brings, like, it takes you away from just reality itself. Just something, like I said, our hobbies is our hobbies. And I feel like, you know, when we say enough is enough, my thing is, if this brings you joy and it's not causing any harm to your family and it's not financially hurting you and it's a hobby that you love, man, go for it. Because we all love this jersey game. We all have hobbies that takes us away from reality. So I can understand, like, sometimes I buy things because I'm feeling down or I'm trying to fill some kind of void in my life, and I just how you call it? I go I lose myself in the jersey game. You know what I'm saying? And I start buying shit that I know I don't need, but if it makes me happy for like that one day, it's worth it. But then at the end,
it's not necessarily that conscious. Like I said, it's not like, oh, I'm feeling down, let me buy all this shit. It just, like I said, it's more so it just happens. I think you don't really think about it until you make yourself think about it. Like, if you kind of realize, okay, you know, I'd probably have more. Honestly, I'd probably have like 200 jerseys if I was buying like always the $300 Michelin S or $200 Michelin S or 130, whatever, the swingman. I'd probably have like 200 jerseys, but I have what I have because I have a lot of gamers. So some of my jerseys are crazy expensive, like prices most people would not even imagine paying for a jersey. Like, it's kind of silly, but it's somehow, like, I would never do that for shoes. Going back to what you guys were saying about them eventually crumbling, like, I was never into the shoe game like that. So for me, like, I had a friend who kind of got me into it, like, got me into shoes, but not like a sneakerhead. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to be like, fortunately, I don't want to have to add a second, you know, addiction to it, because like
it's crazy, like, how you
wear a jersey for life, right?
I'm sorry. It's crazy how you say, like, I would never spend that much money on a pair of sneakers, but you're turning around and spending that same amount of money on a jersey.
But the reason is, yeah, but I was just saying the reason, which is, like you said, sneakers could crumble within a few years, whereas jerseys, I could see myself dying with some of those jerseys. You know, might seem silly to say that, but why else would I spend that much money? I like having a part of the history in my closet, even if I don't wear it. But I do wear jerseys. I definitely do. But I have.
But when it comes to the sneaker thing, I feel like, yeah, they crumble. My theory is, enjoy this shit, wear it, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna spend that much money on sneakers, just to leave it in a box and let it disappear. But if that's something that brings you joy, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, I started realizing, I'm spending $300 on a pair of sneakers that just sitting in a box. But in my mind, it's cool that I have it. You know what I'm saying? And I do have a question, if you mind, Rez. As content creators, have you guys ever found yourself buying something for content, knowing that you're really not into the jersey, but this will be a dope jersey to get for content? I know I've done it. I was wondering if you guys ever done that.
I think I have, but not for a jersey. You know, I think it was more so kind of with like a hat, you know, because it's just one of those things where I just like, there's a lot of stuff that I buy that I personally don't like, I don't use, I don't wear as much as I thought I would have, you know, when I bought it. And I always try to tell myself like, well, you know, now that I'm back on YouTube and doing videos like regularly, like I always tell myself, well, at least I could do a video on it and it'll give me content type of thing. But initially, like my thought process before, you know, I pulled the trigger on it is no. You know, I wanted the item at the time, but like it's one of those things where it's kind of like, you know, and we all go through it, you know, where you feel like, oh man, like, you know, I impulse bought this thing and, you know, I don't know why I bought it, you know, and it's one of those things. Like for me personally, like there's a lot of stuff that I buy that I feel like, you know, I don't really need it. You know, a lot of the stuff I don't need really, but I buy it because I love it. But yeah, I mean, I can't speak. That's, you know, I'm only speaking for myself. You know, I don't know how Leo, Diddy, JMAC feel about that. You know, but
I'm trying to think of the guy's name. What's the guy's name? He's a Chinese guy, lives in California, Warriors fan, and he does super close-ups of the jersey reviews. Like he gets like a needle and he like.
Is it talking about Soul Gazer?
Yeah, Soul Gazer, right? Doesn't he just get in jerseys and then sometimes like return them just to do the review? You know, so I know some guys sometimes get in the jerseys and then they, you know, do the review and then they send it back.
A lot of sneaker guys do that.
How is that possible though? Like, how do they do it if they wear the shoe? Because like when you wear a sneaker and you like walk like on the floor, you can see like if the shoe was like worn. So
they probably wear it on their carpet.
Oh my God, man!
Because if you could try on the shoe in the store, so it's no different.
That's crazy because they actually like out here in my like the stores out here, they won't let you try on any Jordans, dude. Like on release days and stuff like that. Like if you go in there, like let's say you win a size 10 of the Lightning 4s that just dropped, like they'll, you know, you win the ticket, you say, hey, can I try it on? They're gonna be like, nah, you can't. So that to me is wild because it's like that's a whole different topic, obviously, but like obviously the whole mentality of you not doing that is like it's a collector's shoe, you know, it's a very sought out item and you know, we don't want it to get damaged type of thing. So that's interesting though. That's really interesting to me because we can't try on shoes like Jordans and stuff like on release days.
And another thing, I'm sorry, like
no, you're good.
This goes for Leo because for you and Leo that. All right, so like I said, there's different phases that we go through. As being content creators, also, do you feel like you have to fit? Like everybody knows Leo as like, yo, he's the Kobe Jordan guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you ever feel the pressure as like, yo, whatever Kobe? I know you're a Kobe guy regardless, but whatever Kobe jersey comes out, I need to get it because I'm known as the Kobe guy. You know what I'm saying? Or Rez, any 49er jersey that comes like I'm a Bay Area guy and I have to get that jersey because if I'm known as that guy, so I have to get that jersey to fit that mold as everybody knows me as that guy. Have you ever felt that pressure as a collector and as a content creator?
All the time. Like I'm not trying to knock anybody, but some fellow members of Kings of Throwbacks will message me like, yo, did you get the new 49ers jersey yet? Yo, did you get a Reuben Foster jersey yet? Yo, did you get an Eric Reed jersey yet? It's on sale. But I'm like, I'm not even an Eric Reed guy. I'm not even a Reuben Foster guy, you know, but just because he plays on the team that I was a fan for, like there's a part of me that like is compelling me to buy it. And I gotta step away from that because it's getting crazy. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit and kind of go back to my initial thought process when I got back into the jersey game. So obviously, most of you guys know this, but when I got back into the jersey game, I told myself I only wanted to collect my teams. That's it. I didn't want to get anything else. It may be a couple of players that I grew up like idolizing and stuff, but like that was my thought process. Like, I'm in. This is all I want. All I want is my 49ers, my Warriors, my Giants, my Sharks. That's it. You know what I mean? And then I'll never forget, like when I got back into it, the first jersey that I bought that was just like kind of like an oddball jersey was a Lawrence Taylor, Mitchell and Ness throwback. And everybody was like, why did you get a Lawrence Taylor? And I was like, yo, like, I love linebackers, man. Like, those are like one of my favorite positions of all time. And then like people started just like trying to rebuttal, like, oh, but dude, you know, they took y'all out in the Super Bowl and and all this stuff. And it just like, I'm like, yeah, but it's a dope jersey. You know, it's got like really nice patches and it got that dazzle and it started getting all technical with everything. And it kind of just like fed and fueled my jersey like enthusiast craving. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's hard because like at the end of the day, like I feel like I get peer pressured unconsciously from fellow collectors. And it's something that I have to really work on myself. Like I need to do better because at the end of the day, it's my wallet, it's my pocket, and it's basically my money. So nobody's forcing me to buy something, but when it's kind of like, it's almost like an alcoholic that's like trying to recover, like a recovering alcoholic that's in a room full of people that are drinking alcohol. Like it's not good for you, but you put yourself in a position where other people are doing something that you are trying to recover from. I don't know if that's the best example, but it's just you have to, like, why would you put yourself in an environment that you're trying to control?
Yeah, I 100% know what you're talking about. Like, I think it's very important when you're in collecting to make sure that you're checking with yourself to make sure that you're not buying things because of other people's expectations of you, especially in social media. Because when I got to like my height, as far as the number of jerseys that I had, I was running, you know, a jersey message board, and like everybody knew me for coming in and dropping like, you know, 5-6 jerseys at a time. And it was almost like those were the expectations. Like if you saw a post from MDIDDY, like you were expecting to see like 5-6 brand new jerseys, you know, that I picked up. And that's not healthy, man. That can lead you down some bad paths, like, because then you're trying to keep up those expectations that other people have of you. And sometimes it's just not healthy based on your personal situation at the time. So just like you said, Rez, the whole like, you know, being an alcoholic but working in a liquor store type of deal, like sometimes like I had to take a step back from it, you know, and like really figure out what I liked about the hobby and like what I liked about being in the groups. And I did trim down my collection, and I did really try to focus on more of the relationships, you know, the people in the groups, as opposed to the actual physical, you know, possessions. That being said, you know, when you get 55 authentic LeBron James jerseys deep, like a new one comes out, you do feel feel compelled to pick up, you know, that next authentic if Nike blesses you with making it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's one of those deals now where I look at my LeBron collection. I've never been the biggest LeBron fan, but I made a decision when he came into the league where I was like, yo, I'm going to try to buy every one of his jerseys because I think it'd be cool if you like had been able to do that with MJ, and you could look back and you could see that you had all of his jerseys. So
I remember you said that in one of your videos, actually. Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy because people.
You mean to tell me you weren't even a big LeBron fan?
That's what I'm saying. Like people come to me all the time. They're like, "Yo, how can you be a LeBron fan? You're from Boston." I'm like, "Yo, I'm really not. To be honest with you, like, I respect him, but I mean, in a way,
is he in your top 5 of all time?
nah, not even, bro.
Oh wow.
Nah, he's not even in my top 10, bro.
Wait, top 10 favorite or top 10 like
All time.
the best?
Yeah, all time. He's not in my personal favorite. He's probably not in my top 15, top 20. I don't even know.
Look,
Yeah.
dude, you literally just like oh man, you literally just like you gave him the Stephen A. Smith like blasphemous like look right there.
Blasphemous.
Nah, man, it's crazy. Like but I'm at the point now where I actually think, you know, they've done well though. Like a lot of those jerseys that I got, you know, they've gone absolutely crazy in value.
You can't find them.
No, so now I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, shit, that was a good investment. Like, I'm glad I did that. You know what I mean? And because now I'm looking at it like Albert looked at his situation, right? Where I'm like, hey, man, like if I want to try to get a new whip or like pay down my mortgage, like I can do that now, like, and have a substantial chunk of change from it. So
Really?
we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how much Nike works with me if I can continue growing this collection, but I may just be able to get his number 6 jerseys and that's it. But
Are
we'll
you
see.
getting all the 6 or just one?
If they release them, I'll get them all. Yeah.
Okay. I'm still on the
Yeah, if they release them, I'll get them all. And they probably will. So
like, okay, so
you
for
gotta take the layups, right, King?
so for like the collecting aspect of it though, like let's say like Mac, like your LeBron collection, and that's for you as well, King, because I know you guys collect like an insane amount of you know, LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, and stuff like that. But like I noticed like for you, King, like you have multiple versions of the same style jersey, but they're from different like runs. So like I'm gonna use the MPLS Kobe for example. Like you have the Nike version of it. I think they did was like a swingman. Then you have the other Nike version of it, and then you have the Mitchell & Ness authentic version of it that just recently dropped the patch. Like, do you find yourself? I know you love the jersey, and I know you love Kobe, but do you find yourself sometimes saying like, "Yo, why do I have 3 of the same jersey? Like, do I need this many?"
For those players, I don't. For those players, yeah. It's when I have so my top favorite personal of all time in the NBA is Mike, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, T-Mac, and LeBron. This is my 5. So I try to get those players. So I have the D Wade all authentics, the white, the red alternate, and the black from his Reebok to Adidas era. So that mid 2000s to late. So, but then I picked up a Nike Dwayne Wade Swingman, and I like, do I need that for him? Probably not. Now I'll take. I have his authentics too from Nike, so he has the Vice City ones. So there's times for certain players, but Kobe, Mike, if it's anything that I don't have in my collection, it's automatic in my head. I need that. For me personally.
So like, what if they made like what if they made like regular, like the screen printed like replica versions of those jerseys? Like, would you get those? Like, if they added something different amongst those jerseys, but it's the same like style, would you be compelled to buy it, or you'd be like, nah, they're just trying to cash grab at this point?
I mean, I bought the fucking stupid ass Jordan. What's the shit in the box? It's like $400 for retail, like a bozo. I didn't pay $400 for it. Don't get it twisted, but it was for $400. I think I paid two and change. It was like $210 or $215 or something like that.
Hey, Leo, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to know, like, your mindset. Is it like, if you don't get this jersey, does that make you less of a fan of that player? Do you feel like that?
I don't think of it that way. So in my head, like right now, I probably have like 200 jerseys in my head that I would love to have in the collection. Going from Nike Kobe jerseys to Nike champion jerseys. I mean, to Kobe champion jerseys, to all the Nike jerseys from Jordan from 1997, 98 with the orange jock tag. Like in my head, if I ever come across those at a decent price, then I'm on them like a panther. So I have this whole Rolodex that's like like it's retarded. But I'm getting to the point now where like I feel like if it ain't on my list, then like I want a white Barry Sanders jersey. Barry Sanders is my favorite player ever. I have all the fucking blue jerseys in the world, but I don't have any of his white Barry Sanders jerseys. And the only way you can get that is through an authentic probably from that time period. So maybe a Puma or Wilson or Star or whatever the fuck was out at that time. So, but in my head, if I ever come across that at a decent price, enough that's willing that I could cop it right there, that's in my head. I'm on it. So I had all these jerseys in my head that I know I wish I would want or would love in my collection. And sometimes I get swayed by price, though. Here's my problem. Sometimes I get swayed by such a good price. I'll add a jersey that I probably didn't need. I'll give you a perfect fucking example. It was a Jermaine O'Neal jersey. This guy is a really good collector or seller. It's a Jermaine O'Neal throwback paces. So the shit with the line that kind of comes.
That's
so
a nice jersey,
it was
though.
for $6. Yeah, it was for $60. Authentic, crispy, double stitched, nothing wrong with it. And I was like,
Yes,
do I need a Jermaine O'Neal? No, because
Why
but it's such a
not?
good price. I'm in that still stupid stage of my collecting.
Jermaine
Because
O'Neal's
it's such a good price that I'm like, yo, this is a good price. I'm never probably going to see this jersey again. And he was a great player for the
Well,
Pacers.
that's a good buy then.
And it is, but that's where I got to fight myself sometimes with, just being honest.
That's the league show effect
'Cause
from back in the day.
Yeah, that's $60 that can go towards something you really, really want. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I get what you're saying. Like, sometimes you can't pass up a deal and you get it and you're like, am I really gonna fucking wear this jersey? It's the high of like, yo, I got a dope ass deal for this jersey.
Yeah, you're right. And even like I always wanted a John Stockton jersey. Karl Malone is a creep to me. As much as I enjoyed Karl Malone during his playing days, I didn't realize he came with so much creepness to him. So I always wanted the Mountain jersey. But John Stockton was my guy. Like, he was my favorite point guard in the 90s. And I came across a John Stockton jersey. And I came across it. It was a great price. It was like $150 with tags. Brand new. Reebok. And it should be shipped today. I think it's shipped today. But that jersey has been on my list for like 5-10 years now. I just don't come across Mountain jerseys no more. You may get Karolinko or stuff like that, and maybe some champion Karl Malones, but they're not easy to come by. So that one was, so I had to grab it. I was like, oh shit, John Stockton, one of my favorites. I need that. So that's how my brain works with collecting. But my collecting brain and my YouTube creative brain are two different fucking wavelengths. And sometimes they talk and sometimes they don't.
The thing about the list, though, man, I do the lists and I'll put down like 5-10 jerseys that's on my radar. I want them, right? And I'm like, I'll be good once I get these. And then there's always another 10. After that, it's just more go on the list. After the list is empty, more go on it. So it's just like,
then you start creating different categories in your head to make it. Or like, well, I really like, defensive backs. I want to get Dion and I want to get Rod Woodson. And like, you start creating another longer list, because before, as you know, I created a list like a year ago. I knocked out the list and I was like, okay, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, is sometimes we lie to ourselves. You gotta admit that sometimes we lie to ourselves, and with the sneaker thing, what I hear a lot about sneakerheads is like, oh, I'm gonna save these sneakers for a special occasion. Yo, that special occasion is never gonna come. You're lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Rock this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're on. Like I said, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But there's different levels to it, and there's different. We're all in different parts of our lives as far as age. You know, some of us. You know, I don't have kids, but Leo has a family. He has kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious. Like, and Rez is engaged. Is like, how does your family affect the way you collect?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, because obviously, I'm not, I'm living at home at the moment, so I am allowed to buy more stuff. But I'm noticing now, my priorities are starting to change because obviously I'm engaged. I'm going to be getting married next year, so I have to really start like reevaluating. And I already kind of started, maybe not as much as I would like to be, but we're still on track towards getting everything to fall in place. But like, when it's really gonna matter, when it's really game time, is like after the marriage, after the wedding. Like when we get our own place, how are we gonna pay the rent? How much are we gonna have to spend? How much can I spend? How much can my girl spend? Like, there's a lot of different things. Like I've already accepted that it's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. You know what I mean? So like,
are you trying to squeeze every jersey you can now before you get until that happens?
So it's like one of those things. Like, now that when I got back into the jersey game, like I literally all I had were my Warriors jerseys. And I know I have a lot of Warriors jerseys, but like I have a lot of jerseys now. Like I'm talking about jerseys with tags. I'm talking about jerseys of teams that I don't even necessarily have any attachment to, but I bought it because of the part of the FOMO, fear of missing out, and also all sorts of different reasons. The most recent jersey that comes to mind was a Shannon Sharp Pro Line Denver Broncos jersey. I missed out on it on eBay, and I was like kicking myself, like, oh my God, I missed out. This is such a dope jersey. And fellow Kings member Chris Walter was like, do you really need that jersey though? And I had to like try and convince myself, oh dude, he was a dope tight end. Oh dude, he played in the 90s. Those are all categories that I said I was going to be looking for. But like, then the reality hit, like, bro, you don't need the jersey. It's not, one, you're not a Broncos fan. Two, you have so many other jerseys that you haven't wore yet. And three, like, relax. Like, it'll come, if it's meant to be, it'll come back. Jerseys come and go. So I constantly find myself battling, in my head. I have these battles with myself trying to figure out, like, it's okay. It's okay if you sell your collection off. It's okay if you miss out on something. It's okay. Because at the end of the day, man, like, life's too short. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have so much shit that we have, but really, like, how much fun do we have with everything? Let's be real. Like, you got to ask yourself that. And it's hard because, like, when you're a collector and you're so invested in it, and I'm going to go back to sneakers because it's like a really like common example that I see a lot on my Instagram. Like, a lot of like people tell me, like, I did a poll recently on my Instagram, and I said, if you could pick between jerseys or sneakers, you can only pick one, what would you pick? The sneakers were predominantly, like, they dominated that poll, but then people actually started messaging me exactly why they chose it. They're like, oh, you could wear them for more different occasions. There's so many other, you could like match your outfits more. You can't really wear a jersey every day. And they just like tried to like really like convince themselves like it's better to have this many sneakers than jerseys because you could do so much more with it. But like at the end of the day, you have two feet, or you have your legs, you have your sneaker, and like how many shoes do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like,
only one torso.
One torso. But I mean, like, they have this whole like museum of sneakers and like more than half of the sneakers that they have, they're not even worn, or they're only like worn like once every few years. There was a guy that I was following on Instagram who wore his Jordan, what was it? The Jordan 11s, the DMP pack. And these sneakers came out like over a decade ago, dude. And he was like wearing them for the first time. And then one of those sneakers already came out again. And it was like, yo, like, so now he was looking at it like from an investment standpoint. He's like, dude, like they really killed the market. And, you know, now like I waited so long, you know, now everybody has them. And, you know, all this stuff, like, it's just like this constant battle that you go through with it.
I feel like that's getting caught up about the next person. Like,
yes,
it's crazy because half of the sneakerheads are here to impress other men. They're not here to impress girls. Like a pair of Jordans never. Like I said, I'm about to cuss. A pair of Jordans never got me pussy. Never. A pair of sneakers never got me. But never got me. Like the latest Mitchell & Ness jersey never got me laid. Is nothing. We do this. As far as like the question, when's enough? The only time you can really honestly stop if you stop being a sports fan. When it comes down to it, that's the core of everything as far as the jersey collecting and some of the sneakers too. We're sports fans. If I wasn't a sports fan, you think I'll give a crap about Patrick Peterson Cardinals jersey? I wouldn't. So at the core of everything, we're sports fans. And we live through the moments, and that's like we want to be part of that as sports fans. We want to rock our favorite teams, our favorite players, and our favorite sneakers and stuff like that. But like what you were saying, like, are we really buying this and holding on to this for ourselves? You want to rock it because you want to rock it, or you want to rock it to impress the next person, or for an IG stunt, or like, you know, Rez is like, you know, the Mitchell & Ness. What is it? The Mitchell & Ness IG whore.
The Mitchell & Ness IG.
He's in every. I think Leo's the one that said it.
Yo, they haven't featured me in 4 weeks, bro.
Oh yeah, nah, he's
4 weeks. Oh man,
he's
bro.
on he's slacking. He's a Mitchell & Ness stock. Shout out Saturday.
That was a Mitchell & Ness stock.
Like literally, they should just have you on there every week. Yo, bro, it's so terrible rain. I'm gonna continue this track because I'm just retarded. But check out this rain real quick.
Hold up.
Yeah, it's crazy over here too.
Damn, man.
So I'm about to go in that, but I'm gonna keep you guys in the chat. I'm gonna try to stay on because I wanna listen to it while I'm driving, so I can stay in.
All right, man. I appreciate
God bless
you.
Me.
Yeah, man. Good luck, man. Be safe out there, King.
Leo.
I'm gonna highlight some comments real quick because I haven't really been highlighting comments. But let me see here. John.
Leo. That's too funny.
Yeah, John says, is it the perfect pair guy? Nah, it wasn't perfect pair, man. But that guy has an insane collection as well. And yo, disclaimer, guys, for any sneakerheads in here, I'm not knocking any sneakerhead. Like, I'm a sneakerhead myself, you know, but I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just speaking from my perspective of what I see with like sneaker collectors and stuff. But he says, I used to wait 1 year after purchasing, I'll wear the shoe. Mighty Mouse fan.
Like, wow. I want to know why. Why is that? Like that comment, like why? So because you want to be fresh and you want to have a fresh pair. And like my thing is, what if I'm sorry to be like, I don't want to be that negative guy, but like as you know, at Kings, we lost a couple Kings this past couple months. And that to me, that was an eye opener for me, man, because these people were known for their jersey collections and they passed. You know, obviously their family is, you know, they're not known to their family as jersey heads, whatever. But that's what we know them for. I don't want to be remembered as, damn, Albert was that dude with all the jerseys. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that legacy to be mine. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you waiting for a year to wear that sneaker is, to me, like, what's the thought process? Why? To impress the next man. You know what I'm saying? To be the freshest guy on the block because oh, I had these. I kept them
That
dead
don't make no
stock for a
sense.
year. Congratulations, you kept a dead stock for a year, and you're wearing them now. Like I said, you keeping them dead stock is not gonna get you laid. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy. Like I'm saying, enjoy it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things. Like I always say, like give people their flowers while they're alive, man. It's one of those things. Is like, we can't take this shit with us, man. But we should enjoy it. That's what I'm saying. Now, my whole point is enjoy it. I want to enjoy my journey. Obviously, I can't wear them now because I wear mostly flannels now, so I can't really rock them because it's still summer. But I feel like I'm repeating because I went on a live, so I feel like I'm repeating myself. But it's one of those things like, yo, enjoy that shit, man. Because I don't want to be the negative guy. You're not all promised tomorrow and waiting for a year to stunt on the Instagram because I have a fresh pair. It's not gonna do. What is that gonna do for you?
Right. Neil, if you can, man, I know you said you couldn't hop on, but I would really like, if you can, man, it'd be great if you hop on. I feel like this episode is right down your alley, man. But I understand if you can't. I know there's storms out there in the East Coast, so be safe. But I appreciate you hopping in. And then John says, I got head wearing a dead stock Oreo Force, so I stand corrected. 10 people in school wearing the same shoe. I didn't want to be a part of that uniform. And this is MySpace days, by the way. So, like I was kind of one of those guys, man. Like, I'm not going to front. Like, I was one of those guys where I didn't want to wear the shoe as soon as I bought it because I didn't want to look like everyone else. Like, when that Jordan release comes, whether it's a Jordan 1, a Jordan 4, Jordan 3, and then everybody's wearing them, And then I used to be those guys that'd be like, why are you ruining them now, dude? Like 3-4 years from now, people's pairs are gonna be like all cooked. They're gonna be like, destroyed, and you got a fresh new pair, and blah 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 this, and then like it came to the realization, like, who the fuck cares? Excuse my language.
And then 3 years from now, they're gonna restock and whatever.
Right, and it's wild. No, again.
No, it is wild. Like, I have to really battle myself on the thought process of things because it really just like it fucks with me. It fucks with me in a negative and a positive way, because it makes me feel good when I wear a new fresh pair of sneakers, but then at the same time, like, all the baggage that goes with it kind of turns me off. You know what I mean? Like, the whole thing, like, I'm going to use, hold on. I'm going to show you guys a sneaker that I recently picked up. Let me grab it real quick.
But what's wild about that too is, we don't, like, that was back in high school. Like, everybody would wear your sneakers you just got first day of school or day of release. Nowadays, the only people we see on is Instagram. Like, if I go outside in the Thunder 4s, like, I'm lucky if I see anybody with those on. So we're judging it off of Instagram because everybody and their mother follows the same fucking sneaker pages, and you're like, oh shit, these guys are everybody got the damn pair. But in reality, when you walk out in the street, if I go to brunch with my wife, ain't nobody in the fucking brunch got the sneakers on. So wear the shit.
Yeah, so I
like they say, Instagram's everyone's highlight reel.
It is.
I hate Instagram. I just went on a rant. I wanted to quit Instagram so badly because it's getting to the point where you see, but it's my fault because I'm following the same motherfuckers that follow the same motherfuckers, and I should be smarter than that. I should yo, I'm tired of seeing your whole Instagram page from your heel up. I only know you by your ankles, my man. I don't see no smile. I don't see no faces. I only know motherfuckers by their socks. And I'm like, no, this shit is dumb, man. What the hell am I doing?
So, hold up. Like, let me highlight this real quick because this is my most recent pickup. And obviously, you see the box right here. But yeah, I got
it today.
Oh, right on. That's what's up. So, for those of you who are not sneakerheads, this sneaker right here was a very hype sneaker. And I'm talking about, like, this shoe came out in 2006. Basically, I graduated in high school. I'm showing you guys how old I am. But this sneaker came out in 2006. It came out in a pack, if I'm not mistaken. It came out with another pack. It's called the Lightning 4s, Jordan 4s. And then there was another pair that came with this, which was the Thunder Force, which was like a basically reverse color with black and yellow. But anyways, like this sneaker right here is the perfect example of why I will never pay for resale on a sneaker. Like, I can't say that I'm never gonna pay it, even though I just said never, but like I have not paid resale on any sneaker for about a year now, a little over a year. And this sneaker right here is the prime example of why I refuse to pay resale on a sneaker. Now, before this sneaker dropped again this year, the sneaker was going for about $1,000+. Like,
Why?
it's fucking
Why? Like, what about it makes it $1,000? That's
the hype. It's the hype.
yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's still sellers on eBay. I'm sure there is, that they have the original 06 pair that are probably like at the near brink of death. Like, they're cracked, like they're just not wearable, and they're probably asking for like $1,000 still for this shoe.
What is it, arbitrary, or what makes this colorway so hyped?
I mean, it could be any, you know, it's like celebrities, you know, social media, like basically
it could be
like
anything.
anything.
What-
Travis Scott, you know,
What usually drive hype, what usually drives hype is demand. Demand will drive the hype, and depending on how limited it is, it could be 50,000 pairs versus 20,000 pairs. And the more people that can grab the 20,000 pair one, that one's going to shoot up more, because then the resellers can and buyers can I guess dictate the market. So if I only got this one jersey, like that gray authentic, or those, for example, let's say only 50,000 of those came out, and only but so many people got them, but the demand was 500,000. Now resellers can sell them at ridiculous prices.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't have anything to do with like how awesome it looks.
I mean, I'm sure there's that element of it, but not to the point for what the price gets dictated at. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like just kind of backtracking on this sneaker. So like
Materials.
the materials is okay, you know, but aside from that, really though, like, is any sneaker worth that much money? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all strictly hype. And this shoe is now mass produced to the point where almost everybody got a pair. You know, for people who didn't get a pair, you could probably find one out there in the market. I mean, you might have to pay resale, but like, I got 2 pairs of these. I won 2 pairs, and I was like, yo, like, I gotta win. You know, I don't want to pay resale, and I got 2 pairs. But like I said, like, this is the perfect example of why I do not want to pay resale on a sneaker. And then also, like, the part of me is like the collecting aspect of it. A part of me didn't want to get the shoe because I have so many other sneakers. So I told myself, well, if I'm going to buy sneakers, I got to sell other things as well to kind of make it, like, to balance out my collection. But no doubt, I'm going to put these on feed really soon. I want to do a quick video, like a rant on this. But part of me, why I bought this sneaker was because this goes good with Warriors colors, obviously. You know, the town jersey, hint, you know, so you might see me in an outfit with these. But like
the town jersey, green yellow,
Mitchell
right?
in that spot.
Yeah. Mitchell and that spot. But like,
And that start on
this
the way.
point, like, going back to everything that I was saying though, like with this shit, like, there's already like releases that are coming out after this. So many other Jordans, and I'm getting hit up by sneakerhead, like my IG sneakerhead friends are like, oh, are you gonna get the ones? Are you gonna get the Starfish lows? Oh, are you gonna get the Bordeaux Jordan 6s? I'm like, bro,
Fucking releases.
I still have these. Like, I haven't even enjoyed these yet. Right? Like, what the fuck?
Bro,
You know,
there's so much rain out here. I'm sorry to fucking throw y'all off, but there's so much fucking rain right now.
Yo.
I'm like driving in the lake.
Make sure you drive careful, bro.
yeah, you got to be careful, man.
Somebody's got to go back and screen grab the shot of Leo running to his truck. You know?
It's gonna be on the
Oh, my
playback,
God.
man. So I'll DM you guys the playback when you're ready. Like,
No, I mean, the thing about the shoes, man, is like Nike figured out the formula a long time ago,
I can't.
right? I mean, those Thunder 4s, like Rez mentioned, like it's It's a popular style with the 4s. It's a colorway that had never come out. It was released at a time when, like, the sneaker following was just, like, crescendoing at that point. And it came out in a limited pack. And furthermore, I believe they had issues with the midsole paint cracking on those, like, even before they should have. You know, like you expected after, like, 5-6 years. But I think a lot of the paint cracked on those even earlier. So you had an even more depreciated supply than you would normally have. And then you get everybody talking, oh, wow, you know, did you get the Lightning 4s? Oh, you missed out, man. I wanted those so bad. Like, because if you didn't get them, obviously that made people want them even more.
If you didn't get them, no pussy for you.
Right, right. And so, you know, now Nike, you know, you fast forward 15 years, 14 years, whatever it was, and Nike's like, we need a real banger this month. You know, we're getting close to the end of Q3. What can we throw out there that we know people will buy in huge numbers? Let's throw out those Lightning 4s. People seem to really like those. Let's mass produce the shit out of them. Everybody will buy them. It'll be a great quarter. And then they roll them out, and everybody goes out, drops down their $200, and they're like, yo, I got to win. And then when they release the Cactus Jacks, everybody will be like, oh, I didn't get them, man, but I got the Lightning 4s. Oh, man. And then 15 years from now, you know what Nike's going to do? They're going to retro the Cactus Jacks. And then they'll get another big payday. Just like that, man, they got it figured out, and everybody does it. So why not?
History repeats itself, man. That's what it is. Yo, King.
Yo.
I'm gonna let you focus driving, man, because I got Mighty. I want to have him on and just kind of speak.
All right, no doubt.
But I appreciate you, man. Drive safe.
Yes,
and
sir. I'll hit you when I get home.
All right, sounds good, bro. Thank you, man.
All right, no doubt.
All right, Mighty. The Mighty fan is in the building. What's up?
King Leo needs a vote.
He needs a vote.
My goodness. No, I mean, we've been having like this crazy weather. We had tornado warnings earlier. I fell asleep. I woke up. I thought I just hoped I wasn't in Oz or something, like the house didn't, you know, spin up in the air and go back into, you know, crash on some witch or something. But no, it's pretty crazy. It's coming down out there pretty good.
Yeah. How is it
at least?
How is it out there in Philly, man? It's like, you guys have like warnings and stuff like that, like flash flood warnings? Or?
Oh yeah. Someone sent me some pictures in his area. It's pretty, you know, like all the streets are just swamped, and the house, some like building or something was like, you know, halfway underwater and stuff, partially underwater. It's crazy. I don't think in this area I don't have like, you know, streams or rivers or anything like that, or creeks or anything like that near me, so I don't have that kind of issue. But yeah, it's a pretty nasty night out there here, and everyone out there in the area, stay safe, be careful. King Leo, be careful. You know, and yeah, it's one of those crazy nights. But I didn't know if I, you know, if I would still have lights or power or anything by this time tonight. But fortunately, so far so good. But besides me falling asleep on the couch.
All right, man. Well, dude, I do appreciate you hopping on, man. I mean, I totally understand. I know you messaged me earlier saying I don't know if I can make it because of the weather.
Yeah, I'm glad I could, because I did want to be a part of the panel here, because I certainly, I mean, this is a great topic and a great discussion that I've been hearing so far, and I totally get it. I mean, listen, I mean, we all know, I mean, listen, I've been in this game for a long time. I've been collecting really for as long as I can remember something. You know, when I was younger, it was Matchbox cars, then it was in toys, and then, you know, you get older, it's like sports cards. Then it was Mighty Mouse for a while. Then it's jerseys, always jerseys, but jerseys more as a collection, hats. So, you know, I've never been a sneakerhead. I've never been into that world. I've heard so many stories, and I do follow some people on YouTube and such who are. And I know yourself, you there, Rez. You know, you have your sneaker game. I know Snacks has done it for a bit. You know, other guys too in our community. So, you know, I've heard the horror stories, and you know, believe me, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, well, yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm not doing the sneaker stuff, but then again, it's the same. We've all experienced it in the jersey game. We're experiencing it now in the fitted hat game. It's crazy. I mean, some things that goes on in those worlds almost makes you want to stop. But then, you know, it's just one of those things. It's like my dad once told my mom this, and I've never forgotten, is that this is just how he's wired. You know, this is what he does. You know, you can't, it's not something you can just turn off. You know, and I always, you know, remembered that. This is something he told me, he said in front of me to her, you know, years ago. But you know what, you kind of adapt. I've always said that collecting, you have to have a balance. You have to know what the balance is. It's one of the reasons I'm doing the series I'm doing on YouTube, my In the Life series, where I'm trying to show, yeah, I mean, this is the life of a
shameless plug.
Shameless plug, yes. But it's the real life stuff. I mean, this is what you have to deal with. It's decision making. It's, hey, you know, I really want that jersey, but you know, I got these bills coming up, and I got to be, you know, not everyone can do this. Not everyone can put that balance of life with collecting, and it's a very difficult thing. You know, I myself, I own a house. I own a vehicle I'm still making payments on. I have all these different, you know, monthly things I have to make sure, you know, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed if I want to still live the way I do. I mean, the thing about it is, you know, just the other day I had to re-up my AAA membership. And that's another $70 for the annual fee. So there's always something, you know, that kind of comes in every time you say, you know, Liz is putting out this hat set. You know, I'd like to get these, and then all of a sudden, you know, but it's, to me, there's still a thrill of it. To me, I'm still charged with it. I just have a passion. It's like Albert said, listen, we're all sports fans first. This is why we do what we do for the most part. But for me, listen, I mean, you know, I just posted on my Instagram page that saw puppet hat, that Hat Club shock drop. That hat meant so much to me. When I missed it, I was so pissed, because the puppet's one of my favorite horror characters. Love the Saw series. I wanted that hat, and I looked for that hat on the secondary markets every day, like various different searches every day, until I finally was able to find it. And that's like one of those things that's one of the reasons why I still do what I do, because it's all about, for me, it's all about the search. It's all about the journey. And it's all about, you know, for some people, I mean, never get it because they're not collectors. But that's still one of the things that, you know, when I think, okay, you know, maybe, all right, slow down, whatever, but then something comes along and you get it, and you just get that feeling of like, almost like a revigoration of, this is why I'm doing this. This is why this means so much to me. And everyone's different. Everyone's story is different. But I think that's part of the reason why I can't, I just don't have it in me to stop, because it's just how I'm wired. And it's also because I can get the greatest, like I got that hat and I'm looking for the next one. Like this, it came in the mail yesterday. Here it is. Well, great. I'm still looking. I'm still looking for that next thing. So it's a never ending.
When do you stop and actually, like, I can see the happiness in your picture, because you normally don't take pictures like that.
Yeah.
So I know that hat meant something to you, because I know how much of a big horror fan you are. And I already know that you got that creepy doll in your house, and I know you go all out for Halloween.
Yeah.
So knowing that about you, I know that hat meant more to you than your typical Phillies hat with a patch on the side. And we look at it as like, oh, that's just a hat with a Halloween. But to you, it's like, it's meaningful, because you normally don't take a picture like the way you did today. I believe it was today. You posted and you seem mad happy about it.
Yeah.
And that's dope. And you're enjoying it. But like you just said, you put it to the side, onto the next pickup. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I'm not saying that about it. Like personally, like that's the part that I've gotten over it. I've gotten over the, okay, onto the next release. next pickup. There he is. The
Hold on,
next
hold on.
pickup, the next
I like
release
this.
is like, yo, I'm actually gonna sit here and enjoy. There he is. Enjoy that hat. You know what I'm saying? Actually wear it, give it a fit and stuff like that. But like my thing with Mighty, and we always talk about Mighty's collection and Mark. The thing about Mighty, I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk for you, but the thing about Mighty doesn't sell his jersey. You know, he loves his jersey, he collects. That's something that's different besides everybody here that we tend to sell, trade. Mighty doesn't sell. So don't ever ask Mighty, yo, you want to sell that? He's like, no, it's not gonna happen. I think all of us here will have Mighty's collection, the size, if we never sold our jerseys in our lifespan of being jersey heads. You know, my collection will match Mighty's collection. But I'm a seller. I resell. When I get sick, when I really don't need this, I get rid of it, get something else. And it's just one of those things that I don't even know what. I really want to. You just explain everything that you just the way you're wired. But when is enough for you? Like, what would it take for you to be like, I'm done. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm just gonna sit here, enjoy my Mighty Kingdom, wear my hats, wear my jerseys. What would it take?
And what does it mean? That's the way I'm wired. Like wired, like what? What wired? What like what? What do you mean the way you're wired?
Well, I think the easy answer is the easy answer. It's just, this is how I am. I have a mentality that I want to keep getting the thing that makes me happy and just keep doing it because I've always done it. You know, this isn't, like I said, it was once other things. It kind of merged into, because I have such a love for sports, I just keep surrounding myself with, in this case, jerseys and hats. And most of the hats deal with sports. And, you know, you might have the one oddball here and there, but most of it's sports related. A lot of the hats are because it goes with a jersey. You know, I don't have all the sneakers, but the hat jersey combo wombo, as we know, that's what I do. That's what I love to do. I look for it like crazy. I go nuts for certain hats. Still need an Angels with the 40 patch on the side, but I do. I guess when it was said, this is how I'm wired, it's like a computer, you know, this is how you plug it all in. This is why this wire goes here, this wire goes there, because that's how it runs, you know, and that's just how I am. That's my mentality. And, you know, when you talk about when's enough, believe it or not, I have slowed down. I've become a little more selective, you know, with the jerseys. You know, there's certain ones that I'm looking for, and now, you know, we have Mac in here with the custom game. There's that world of it too. You know, there are jerseys out there that, you know, mean more to me than others. So maybe I might start focusing a little more on those instead of just, okay, I'm getting this like conveyor belt. So I have kind of toned it down just a bit. You might not think I did, but I have, you know, and with the hat game being what it is, with them just being so much out there and so plentiful, with so many different companies doing them, some a little more attainable than others. But yeah, I mean, I've been getting some of those, but the eye is always there with the jerseys too. I think it's just one of those things where it's like, as long, like I said, the simple answer is the simple answer. I think as long as this still gives me passion and joy, I'm going to do it. You know, when I went to the new Mitchell & Ness flagship on Walnut Street in Philly last weekend, I was excited. When I'm going in there and I'm looking at all these jerseys, and I'm just, the eyes are just, you know, still big as saucers looking, and, you know, and I didn't get Ricky Henderson, but it still it charges me. It makes me happy. It gives me that joy, that passion. And yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a single man, you know, so this still is something that I get the passion. It gives me joy. Why would I not want to do something that gives me joy? And it's not a bad thing. It's not like I'm doing, this is a drug of a different kind. I'm not taking drugs. I'm not putting something bad into my body. You know, I'm doing the wallet's a little lighter, but I'm still surrounding myself with the things that make me happy. And in life, listen, there's a lot of realities. I think this whole pandemic kind of proved all of that. you know, what the terrible situations can be, but you still have to do things that make you happy as long as you can, as long as you're not hurting yourself financially. If it's still something that you enjoy, still something that makes you happy, you do it. My dad collects stamps. I mean, he's retired. I thought it was just, I got such a kick out of a couple weekends ago. I was at my father's, and I brought Slim along with me because he was here visiting, and the two of them are talking about collecting in a different kind of way. My dad is just talking to him about stamp collecting and about going to a stamp collecting show in Baltimore the next weekend. And Slim's, you know, the two of them are just exchanging stories, and it was a real kind of slice of life moment. And it was just one of those things where, you know, my dad, I always felt, does he really get this? Does he really understand? And then watching him talk the way he did with Slim and myself about the stamps, and, you know, this is why this stamp is important, that stamp is important. And I'm sitting there going, well, maybe my dad's kind of wired that way too. So it is important in life to do the things that are most important. You know, if you find that right person and you're able to settle down and have a life and have a family. Listen, we've seen a lot of guys in this community that were real passionate into this, right? That, I mean, the pickup train, just pickup after pickup. YouTube, they had a YouTube following. They were in our groups. They were big members in our groups. Then life happens, right? They get married, they have a family, they have kids, and then they kind of disappear from it.
Do you
right?
mean to tell me
And
a woman put some sense into them? Do you mean?
And some people have that life, yet they can still collect and be a part of it. So it's just, you know, and there's no right or wrong, but it's just how, you know, how life might affect different people, right? So I might be in a situation, who knows when, I'm not looking, but maybe the right person comes along and I settle down and you know, have
says,
a family and whatever.
You need to
And
get
then I'm still collecting jerseys and hats. But at
But
that
part,
time, it might
but
really
part of that
slow
connection
down.
with being in part of that connection is they gotta accept
Yeah.
like you know, if somebody comes in your life, Mighty, and says what JMAC says, what the fuck is that? Like, that person's not meant for you. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. They gotta accept that you have a love and passion for something, you know, and I get that. And like, you know, we all been in a relationship. I gotta compromise. It's about compromising. Like, I obviously, like, I'm not gonna have my jersey addiction take over, affect my relationship. But like when enough was enough for me, because I want to experience life. Like, not life, but I want to experience things in my life. I want to travel. I want to see things. This world is so big that I'm so caught up in this room with my jerseys and knowing that there's a big world out there. I want to experience shit. I want to go to Philly and chill with Mighty. I want to go to California and chill with Rez and chill with MDIDDY. If I can sacrifice some jerseys to have that experience for a weekend, I'm all for it. But 10 years ago, fuck that. Jerseys over everything. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean, that our mentality now is going to be different from a year from now. Mighty might wake up 2 weeks from now and be like, you know what? I'm done with the jerseys. I'm good. I'm just gonna focus on. Maybe Mighty we could become a freaking sneakerhead in 2 weeks. You never know. I don't know what will happen, but you never know. Or you walk into a freaking, you know, a vegan restaurant and you find the love of your life. You just never know. You know what
I
I'm
can
saying?
go to Miss May. Maybe she's at Mitchell and Ness. You never know. I can go in there one day.
If he can hook all of us up.
Maybe she works in Mitchell and Ness.
You're that
Straight
guy.
up.
So Mighty, I want to ask you this real quick, man, because I know that we're all jersey heads in this room right now, in some way, shape, or form. But I also know, Mighty, that you are, before your jersey passion, you were a collector of Mighty Mouse fan. You know, I noticed that you've already expressed to me and most of us in here that you don't really collect it as much anymore. Did you hit like that point, like, of you collecting it for as long as you did you hit that point where you're like, this is enough for me for collecting this?
Well,
before you answer, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I feel like you already got everything, Mighty Mouse. I think that's the wall that you hit.
Oh no,
Because
there's
I'm
still
like,
plenty
I
of
got
stuff out
everything.
there.
I don't need anything more. Let me move on to the next hobby.
No,
I'm sorry,
I mean,
Mighty.
honestly, like I said, I've always, I mean, I had jerseys before I collected Mighty Mouse, you know, because I wore the old champion and starters and all that stuff back in my middle school and high school and whatever days, right? So when, I was heavy big time into collecting Mighty Mouse paraphernalia, the collectibles, the comic books, the clothing. I have a leather jacket somewhere with him. The figures, the toys, everything you can think of. And I was featured on a collector show way back in the day on HGTV, Ultimate Collectors, for the collection. And it was a very humbling thing, and it was a lot of fun. The thing about that, though, is that, you know what? It was always like, yeah, I was collecting him. I was doing what I had to do for that. I was in that world. It's like that light switch kind of went, right? Because I had a very big collection, and it took me like 20 minutes to figure out where to put a keychain once for Mighty. I was like, where am I going to fit this in, you know? And it was starting to get to the point, because I found out where the Mitchell Ness store was. I went there for the first time, and it just blew my mind seeing all those jerseys. Like literally the old Mitchell Ness store when it used to be on Chestnut Street, and this is a few stores ago before the flagship has moved around a few times in Philly. But I went to that one, and they just had the racks of the Korea, El Salvador, USA runs, just big circular racks. And it just set the little, there was a little, fuse, it just set it off.
Real quick, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there's some feedback. I don't know if you have another screen open, Mighty, but you might have to mute one, or.
I don't have another one open.
Okay.
Am I better now?
I don't hear it anymore, so I think.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird. But I guess it just set the fuse off, and I knew. I knew that, as much as I loved collecting Mighty, it's like the jersey game. And at the time, listen, I mean, you're seeing those old Mitchell Ness prices on those jerseys are like, how am I going to get these things? And of course, back then I was buying fakes. I didn't know. I was getting them on eBay. I didn't know there was such a thing as a fake. And I got involved in the community and the groups. And yeah, you learn. And I also learned where to find the good deals. And the store has sales sometimes. And yeah, I mean, it just went from there. But the Mighty Mouse, the merge over, the flip over from Mighty to the jerseys, I think was an easy one for me, just because again, it's that sports background. It's the fact I always wore jerseys back in the day. So it was almost like this easy kind of transition, right? But it's not to say, hey, look, if they make a Mighty Mouse movie, which hopefully they do someday, he's one of the few superheroes that has yet to get a movie, but if they make a movie and other merchandise starts pumping up, I might get something, for old time's sake.
I think Mighty brings up a good point, man. Like, I think it's important to, like I said it earlier, like check in with yourself and like really kind of pinpoint the passion that you have, like, because there's a difference between buying in bulk just to get that dopamine hit of opening up a new package versus real in-depth passion. So like what I mean by that is I talked about some of the other things that I've like started to get into and learn about. And, I've definitely gone to shows and like participated in, YouTube chats and stuff like that. But jerseys just feels like home, like to me. Like it feels really like almost natural. Like it's something that I've always been interested in ever since I was like 9 years old. Like my dad was like, well, what Braves jersey do you want? And I was like, I want the one the players wear. Don't give me that bullshit, next level down. Like I want the one that's on the field. And that was me at 10. And so, I still find moments like that. Like even this weekend, I was at a card show and there was a booth there for Leland Auctions. And I was wearing my Barkley preseason jersey that I did. And I walked up to the Leland booth, and the guy there was like, yo, where'd you get that jersey from? And I was like, oh, it's, I actually made it myself. He's like, I thought it was a gamer. And I was like, no. He's like, I've never seen one before. I'm like, well, yeah, that's why I made it.
That's gotta feel good. That's gotta feel amazing, man.
He was like, yo, man, that's crazy. He's like, do you do customizations too? Come to find out, the guy's like a huge Mets fan, like loves jerseys, like has a bunch of gamers and stuff like that. And, like, that's awesome. Like that connection and speaking that language and having it come so naturally, like that's the passion. And then the other time I really feel it is when I'm conceptualizing a jersey that I want to do, and the little pieces start to like come through and come together. So like I order the trim, that's good. Then I get the artwork, that looks good. Then I cut it. When I cut the twill and I actually see it, like the Heat jerseys that I did is a perfect example of this. When I saw those Heat kits like in twill cut out, I was like, yo, these are going to be fire. And I just knew it, and then the anticipation, then when they come in and they're done and they look the way that you envision them, like it's a huge payoff. Like that to me, I've been able to kind of like mold that passion, that transition from that dopamine hit, which I still probably get to some extent, but it's playing more off of what I feel is like a pure like passion and love for the garment itself. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just my little take on my own personal journey through it.
You're absolutely right, man. Because you're right. Because like you and I, we talked about, we collect comics, we collect cards and stuff like that. That's something that we've always done as kids and something like that. But the spec game is fun. You get a high off that too. And like when you hit on a comic that nobody was really thinking about, that's an amazing feeling too. But like you said, the jersey game is just hits home. It's something that it's safe. It's something I'm passionate about, and it's always going to be. So I'm passionate about it, and I always say that everybody here is the jersey head of their community or their neighborhood. There's nobody like me that I know that collects jerseys and stuff like that around me. Nobody around me, no family members, no friends of a friend. I don't know anybody that collects jerseys the way I do. The people on the panel and the people that's the only people I know that collect and feel the same. Me and Mighty can relate. Me and Rez, everybody here in the panel can all relate. But yet, you know what I'm saying? When you find that other person that has a passion with and you start having that conversation, you're like, oh shit, that's what's up. I've never ran into somebody that has like, oh, you're into jerseys too? Yeah, I like jerseys. Oh, whatever. Never. Only through here. This is where I get my high. As the older I get, I feel like I'm rooting for Rez and Mighty. I'm rooting for everybody on this panel to bring that jersey community back. To me, that's my new high. Is seeing the jersey community bloom the way it's blooming, the way it is now. There's only a few of us, but back in the day, it used to be a whole pack. It used to be every day was a jersey video on YouTube. There was challenges. There was shouting out each other, and that was dope. And life happens, and we lost that on YouTube. And now I'm seeing people like Bay Area Throwbacks going to a Seals, like the San Francisco Seals, where their stadium used to be. And that's amazing because I got San Francisco Seals jerseys in my collection. I'm like, yo, that's dope. Stuff like that is amazing to me. And Rez is, he left he came back strong. So like to me, my high is watching the jersey community grow here on YouTube and watching you guys like do what you guys do, man. So let me stop with my little sob story. Yeah.
You're good. I do want to quote the late great Kobe Bryant, man, because I think that this is kind of something that I like to apply, as when most people do with Mamba, man, rest in peace. But before he retired, there was a quote that he said that just echoes like endlessly for me, at least. But he said, quote, "My heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows when it's time to say goodbye." So obviously he's referring to, you know, his career, man, his legacy that he cemented in the NBA. And he knew, man, like he knew it was time. I mean, I know obviously this is, you know, he's applying it to his physical, you know, his physical well-being, like for being able to continue playing basketball at that high level, you know. But like I apply that to my collecting. Like it's something that we're all passionate about doing, but like it's gonna change at some point in time, whether it slows down, whether it stops completely, whether it, you know, it gets elevated. And it's one of those things, like for me personally, like I'm at a point in my life where some really big changes are going to happen, life-changing changes that are going to happen in my life. And it's kind of hard for me to like swallow that and let it sink in, because, you know, a part of me is saying like, yo, you're not going to be able to buy this many jerseys or just anything for that matter. You got to dedicate your money towards rent. You got to dedicate your money towards, you know, me and my soon-to-be wife, you know. And just like overall, like my thought process is constantly changing, but I'm trying to find some sort of compromise onto how I'm going to do that. So obviously, like I proposed to my fiance last year, so it's kind of giving me some time to kind of like, you know, get my thoughts invested in how I want to come up with a game plan. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, I am doing horrible. I'm just kidding, but there is a lot of work for me to do. Like I'm still buying jerseys. I'm still getting hit up by like people in the community that are showing me deals and sales and links to all these like jerseys. MAC, I know we got like a huge haul that we're working with and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, like I have to really like ask myself, when's enough enough? You know what I mean? And
Rez, I'm curious, like in one sentence, when's enough? Like when is this like, that's it, I'm just gonna enjoy it, I'm done, I'm moving forward? Like I don't want to hear a big sob story. Just give me one sentence that says enough is when.
October 8th, 2022. No, I'm just kidding. That's my wedding date. But no, man, it's
your bachelor party. Your bachelor party is like at the Mitchell and Ness store.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Albert, because it's really hard to answer, man. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I can't give a really a direct answer to that question, but
why is that?
Well, I mean, just me as a collector, you know, there's constantly just things, you know, there's a part of me. It's kind of like what Mighty said, you know, that's just how I'm wired. Like I was telling Mighty this, like, even though I wasn't collecting jerseys for a certain time frame, I was still collecting, not jerseys, but I was collecting something. So, you know, I got into the sneaker game and then I started getting into like, you know, toys and figures and all that stuff. And then, you know, obviously I kind of slowed down on those like hobbies. And then I went back to the jersey game. And so now it's kind of like in a circle, like, okay, I spin the wheel stops on jerseys, and I'll spin the wheel again, and then the wheel stops on sneakers. Like it's kind of like that, you know what I mean? And it's dangerous. Like it could get dangerous at times, you know, because there's just so many things that are coming out. But like I have to really like pull myself away, almost like I have to take my soul out of my body and just look at all this. like what do you need? Do you need this? Why did you buy this? Are you gonna buy this? Why did you buy that? You know, like I have to really be practical. And my fiance has been really good with really kind of like, you know, like bringing me back to reality type of thing. Because we went to IKEA a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you guys saw that video I did, but I did a vlog on my channel where I went to IKEA and we were literally furniture shopping like for our new place. And like it was just like one of those things where she was talking about like this would look really good. The aesthetic is very like, you know, vintage. It's got this nice vibe. It brings out, you know, my eye, like all sorts of things. And the only thing that was coming to my mind is, yo, this would be dope when I do a review. I could do an overhead review. Or like, yo, I could have a backdrop, you know, with dope sneakers and dope shit like back behind me. Like I was just thinking of all this like YouTube stuff. And she was like, I love how you're thinking about YouTube. And I'm like trying to plan like how our future place is gonna look like. So like, yeah, man, I let that sink in and I thought about it. I was like, man, you know what? Like, shit, dude, like she's right. You know what I mean? Like, there's a part of me that loves to collect, but then like I gotta be realistic. You know, like, I gotta be practical with you know, and that's part of being in a relationship is being able to find, you know, that balance. Because I always say, man,
and it's funny because you could be in a situation where, like, whatever that shelf costs $125, and you're in your head, you're like, I'm not spending $125 for no damn shelf. But you drop $300 on a Magic Tracy McGrady jersey. That's not useful at all. You know what I'm saying? The mentality as collectors is like, that's one thing I try to prevent to do that I don't. Like I said, Mighty will probably shoot himself in the head if he sits there and says, I spent that much. Like, that's something I recommend to nobody. Don't ever look at your collection and say, oh man, I spent that much, and you start adding it up in your head, and oh my god, I spent over this much. Don't do that shit, because it's one of those things like, yo, if you love it and it's in your collection for a reason, enjoy that. My thing is, I keep going back to it. Enjoy your shit, man.
I always say that I put my jerseys on a rack, and I don't organize them by the dollar signs that I spent on each jersey. You know, I can have a whole Z-bottom rack full of jerseys, and I couldn't tell you how much I spent for this one or this one or this one, because that's not how they're organized. They're there by team and year by team or what have you. They're not organized by, oh, well, this one I spent $300 on. It's over here, and you know, no. So at the end of the day, and Rez used the perfect word, it's all about balance, and you have to try to balance out real life with your collecting life. It's like a split personality. You have to find that balance, and not everyone can do it. Listen, people get in this game, but they don't realize, and they're spending crazy amounts of money, and before they know it, they get themselves in real trouble because they couldn't balance it out, right? And it burns them out right away, right? After a couple months, then they're all burned out, right? So you have to learn how to do that. You have to, in a way, be selective. Like for me, I have, like I said, I have real life stuff. I have to take care of these bills. The most important thing for me is to keep this house, keep the kingdom, because without this, I would be in trouble. And there's things I have to do and to keep it running and to keep the lights on and to keep the water running. And I work for the water company, so I know what it is about keeping the water running. And yeah, it's tough. This is why I say you have to have that mentality, because this isn't for everyone. It's not easy to do this. And the other thing that makes it doubly hard is because there's so much out there and there's so many different outlets to get this stuff. Listen, when I was collecting Mighty Mouse, this just goes back to how, 16, 17, 18 years ago. There was eBay, and there was, maybe local stores or comic book places where you would have to call and see if they had comics or whatever. You can go to a comic book show. That's what it was. Maybe you go out to the store here and there. Maybe a Christmas ornament comes out at Hallmark or something, That's what it was. Now you have eBay, you have Poshmark, you have Mercari, you have OfferUp, you have Facebook Marketplace. You have all these different outlets and sources. It just, your head spins with how much is out there. Now you're able to find a lot of things, but there's just this all-encompassing, way of getting them. And that's just saying what's on the internet. Then you have all these stores and you have all these sales and you have all these different it really could make your head spin if you think about how many opportunities you have to get these things. It amazes me sometimes, but you're able to find some real things because of it.
It's okay to say no. And it's okay to say
no. I said no at the Mitchell Ness store at that Ricky Henderson jersey.
Yeah, that's exactly the example I was going to use, that you went there. You could have easily bought that Ricky Henderson, no problem, but it would have gave you a financial headache, because I'm like, fuck, okay, I spent the Ricky Henderson, so that means this bill is due. So, like, you did the right thing financially, because, responsibility first. You did the right thing. Right, you missed out. But my thing is, you have the same jersey as a Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
Is a Mark McGuire, so you're basically
Sure.
just buying a nameplate. I'm getting to that point. I'm like, you guys are just buying patches now. You're buying $300 patches. You buy a
Patches
Jordan
are
jersey
good.
with a little sticker, All-Star jersey sticker on it, and it's like, well, it's not because it has a little. So you're buying a $300 patch. But 10 years ago, I was like, nah, fuck that. It's different. It's because it has the All-Star patch. I'm like, bro, a red Jordan jersey, they're all the fucking same to me. Double stitch 23 Bulls, and then you have like the rookie screen. Well, I'm not saying that, but the regular red Bulls jersey with the 96 All-Star, the 96 Finals patch. It's the same. You're buying $300 patches. That's my rant for the day right there.
Rez, I have a cheat code that you can use if you're having a hard time finding balance. Just get another promotion, man. Just keep getting promotions at work. You'll be fine.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's not the best promotion, but it is a promotion nonetheless. And you know, it's enough. It's enough for me to get a jersey or two. You know, every. But yeah, man. I mean, it's just a tough question, and it's not something that we can answer like definitively. Like, there's just it's hard. You know, I'm gonna use a fellow Kings member, Alex, point forwards, because he's one of those guys that really like shifted his collecting.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously he's got a daughter, he's got a family now, so you know, salute to him, man. And he's one of those guys that like really is an example that it is that you can, as a collector, you can really like, you could either stop or just shift like your level of collecting and still be collecting. I know that doesn't really make any sense, but it's one of those things. Like, I feel like for me personally, if I wasn't collecting jerseys, I would still be part of this community because that's what brings me back to it. I mean, aside from the jerseys, aside from the pickups and stuff like that, what ultimately brings me back to the community is you guys and every other jersey head, you know, that I interact myself with. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that with the sneaker game, I'm going to go back to the sneaker game. I mean, I still buy sneakers and stuff, but to be honest with you, I don't really vibe with like the community like that anymore, because it just really turned me away. Like, it's not even about the culture anymore. It's just about like, how much is this going to resell for? You know, I have a better collection than this person, or, you know, this sneaker is fake. Look, and here's how I could tell why. Like, there's just like, it's not even about the fucking love of the shoe anymore. It's just about like things that like just question really people's like integrity and just people's like morals and stuff like that. Like, I did my stream a couple weeks ago about, you know, that person who passed away because of a sneaker release. You know, like, I don't want to be a part of a community like that. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? And like with the jersey community, like, I'm not saying everybody's a saint, because there's occasionally that guy or girl or that, you know, who can be a bozo and just really like just spread negative vibes. But I don't get that often, man, as much as I do with other communities that I dabble myself with. But, you know, like, ultimately, you know, like I said, like, when's enough? You know, I don't know, but what I do know is that my level of collecting changes. It changes over time as I get older. I'm noticing this. You know, obviously before, when I was like in my early 20s, like, I wasn't like working a full-time job like I was, but I was still buying jerseys like crazy. And now that I'm, you know, 33 years old and, you know, I have a job now and I'm like a supervisor, like, I'm buying more jerseys than I even did back then. But the only thing that's different now, aside from my weight gain, is like the extra level of like, you know, wisdom. I didn't have that back then. I just wanted everything. Like, oh, I got to get this, I got to get that, you know, Reebok's releasing this and, you know, all sorts of crazy like thought processes in my head. And like, now that I'm older, like, I have to really like learn my priorities and my limits. And that's something that a collector doesn't always realize in the beginning, or sometimes at all. you know, but we have to really be able to step back. And I really do want to commend everybody that is in the live chat right now, because I can vouch for a lot of you guys in here that we've all been collecting for over like a decade now, longer, you know, and we all have experienced the highs and the lows and the FOMO and you know, just that whole like realm of collecting. But, you know, like for anybody that's new, that's into collecting, man, like listen to what we're saying, because this whole stream tonight is like, it is just so fruitful, man. Take it, reap it for what it's worth. And we're not saying it because, you know, we're not trying to discourage you to not get into the game. You know, we're just trying to educate you guys and understand how it is if you want to continue collecting, what to expect, you know. If you're feeling this type of way, this is why you might be feeling this type of way. Like, there's so many, like, thousands and millions of collectors out there who experience this, I'm sure. I can almost bank, like, my money on that everything that we've talked about, at least one topic, you guys have experienced this in some way, shape, or form.
It's crazy because everybody here in the panel, a great example of what you're saying, everybody here in the panel are in different mindsets of collecting. You know what I'm saying? We all have the same passion, but we're in different mindset of how we collect. You feel me? And it's all in it. Either way, we're all enjoying it. At the end of the day, we're enjoying the shit. But it's crazy that we have 6 people on the panel and we're on way different way of thinking when we collect, how we collect, and how we, you know, approach collecting. So that's a big example. But yet we all share the same love for the collecting. That's what, to me, at the end of the day, that's my new high that I've grown. You know, being 40 years old, I'm living through I get excited when people get their grails, and I'm like, yo, that's fucking dope. You know, that somebody got their grail, somebody got this, and I'm like, yo, that's really dope. I enjoy the YouTube jersey community a lot, man. I'm learning. I've grown to like it even more now, and you know, hit that thumbs up. Like, if you're watching this right now, it's so easy. Just hit the thumbs up button. It's free, doesn't hurt. It just helps out Rez with his channel. It helps out Bay Area Kicks and Mighty Fan and JMAC. You know what I'm saying? I know Mighty hasn't done a video in a while, but it's just one of those things, man. A simple thumbs up on Bay Area Throwbacks page can open up the algorithm to somebody else to see his videos, man. I'm all about the jersey community with me. I'm all about just growing something, man.
So like, just to kind of go back to what you were saying, like, you know, how you're all about the jersey community and stuff like that. Like, what would you say, like, kind of help, like, not help, but like, what led you into kind of determining, like, this is what I want to do, like, this is what I'm all in for? Because, like, obviously you're collecting for, like, Ebbets Fields, like flannels and stuff. Like, early snacks, like when you were like in your 30s, like, I would never picture you wearing like Ebbets Fields. Well, I mean, just like flannels like that in general. And I'm not knocking you.
I wasn't into baseball jerseys like that.
Right. And it's kind of like me too. Like, I never was into baseball stuff, but I'm starting to buy like baseball jerseys.
Yeah, you're sprinkling into it
a little bit. So, like, how did you kind of come to the realization, like, this is what I want to collect? Like, this is like
I said, like I always said, it's growth, man. With your collection, it's growth with the way we think. It comes with age. It comes with experience. It comes through being part of these jersey communities. When I found, like, right now at this moment, I'm all about Roberto Clemente, collecting like the history of baseball. And I love the history behind the jerseys. Like, before, I didn't give I just, if the jersey looks cool and the colors look cool, I want it. Now, to me, it's like, yo, I'm finding myself into the jersey, the history of the jerseys and stuff like that. Like, right now, my focus is Roberto Clemente. I love that shit. And my Phillies, of course. And I don't know, I'm not the same jersey head I was 10 years ago. I'm not sitting here like, I need this, I need that, I got to get everything. You know, and plus, at the time, like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I'm the throwback king. It's just, I felt like I needed to have that title. I needed to be the jersey guy, and I had to hold I needed to be that guy because I'm known as being that guy. So I got to get the latest and greatest, and I need to have this big ass jersey collection to keep that status. And that's where I fucked up because I was trying to satisfy everybody else instead of like really being genuine to what I want to collect. You feel me? So it's one of those things. Like I said, a couple days ago I just started selling my shit. Sitting there looking at my jersey collection, I was like, yo, I don't wear this shit. I'd rather give it to the jersey community first and then go to eBay. So it's one of those things. It's like like I said, next week you might be into something else. So right now my focus is that, but I'm not losing sleep over it. You know, I'm not sitting every day like I gotta get this Roberto Clemente, I gotta get it in my head. Like I feel like life is passing me by, especially with all the situations that's been happening this past month. I gotta sit and just enjoy my collection, man. That's my new priority. Just sit. I'm at a point in my life I want to enjoy my shit, wear my shit. That's it.
I got a question for
and
all
enjoy
you
the
guys.
jersey community as it is, huh?
What's up, man?
I put it in the comments.
What's up?
I said I got a question for the whole panel. I put it in the comments.
Okay. All right, JMAC, you said, did any of you guys ever consider opening a store? And number two, did any of you guys ever have a mentality where you just wanted to collect in order to flip for profits? That's an interesting question.
Well, I can answer that real quick. The jersey game is not a good flip game at all. You're working backwards if you're trying to flip jerseys.
Right.
Obviously, you can find deals and stuff and get like a $20, $40 profit.
Yeah, right.
But the sneaker game, yes, you can flip all day. But you can't buy a Mitchell and Ness jersey right now for $300 and turn around and sell it for $450 or $500. So to me, in the thought of opening a store, hell no. I'd rather buy a house than get into the business of opening a store. And I'd rather just support somebody like Mac that's doing something, you know what I'm saying, for the community than opening my own store.
Real quick, I just want to highlight this comment. King Leonidas is home. He made it back safe. So salute to you, brother, man. Hope you stay dry. But I'm glad you made it back, man.
You got a boat.
You got a boat.
No, I've never
but
thought of selling. I'm not a flipper. I don't buy what I buy and see dollar signs. I've never. That's never kind of entered my brain. But it is one of the big things that has been a kind of a troubling thing in the hat community, the fitted community, because ever since the pandemic started, they've just blown up. There's been this big thing about the fitted game, and it's a problem because a lot of these companies do these drops and they sell out instantly by bots because of these resellers, these people buying the stuff and they're putting it up on other markets and selling them up at big markup prices. And some of them get those prices because the hype beasts, they have to have the thing, and it's really just taken over. In fact, we just had a conversation in that group, the FHS community. There was a really good one. One of the main guys in the community did a live in that group. He was talking about how someone had made mention of that what they don't like is, and it's a Facebook group, is that the group is becoming more of like a marketplace than for people to show the hat and just show the passion about having the hat. It's become this big kind of resell type of thing. And there was a big debate and a big conversation about that. Listen, no matter what you go after, no matter what you collect, there's always going to be resellers. There's always going to be people buying things for money that they can make money. And particularly these days when we have a situation where more people just want to work from home, right? Because it feels safer and everything. They don't want to be in an office setting. So what we're in right now is this world. It's almost like it's a seller's market on steroids where people are buying things to sell in their home and have their own business and have their own, be their own entrepreneur in that way and sell on places like eBay and Poshmark and Mercari and make the money, right? So, but at the other end of the coin, the other side of the coin, it makes it tougher for people like myself and whoever that just want to get, in this case, the fit. It's just to wear and to have as a collection because we have a passion for it. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to wear, and there is a real dividing line in the people who want to buy to sell and the people who want to buy to collect and to appreciate. It's almost like a civil war in a way. And I understand, Rez, I saw your live a few weeks ago about the shooting there for the sneakers. And I understand. I've heard stories about the sneaker game. I'm not a sneakerhead, but I know there has been some real issues in that community as well with the resale market and how far people are willing to go just for a pair of shoes. I haven't heard of anyone being shot because of a hat, but it's real. It's a real thing when you're talking about when greed gets in the way of a passion, then it becomes a real issue. And it does become tough to get the thing, but it also becomes just one of those things that just takes over a community of people, a community of collectors. Now, we haven't had that as much in the Jersey Head community. I don't know what it was like, back in the Jersey Boom days of Mitchell and Ness, and they were just a big thing, and everyone was getting it. It didn't matter what the price was and what have you. Maybe things would be a little different if we had that kind of, Facebook group at that time, because that was really when it was at the height of it. And I think in some ways we're a little fortunate in that regard in the Jersey game, because they are popular, but as Snack says, there isn't a great resale market for most of them. So you're not going to get these crazy prices. So you're not going to get as many people buying these things out right away to flip them on eBay and whatnot, because it depends on the size, the player, who knows, right? Now, we did have that for a bit after Kobe passed. We had that for a bit after the Last Dance, Bulls series came on ABC and ESPN. There was a big market for that stuff now, and then you saw the ugly side of it, right? But for the most part, we've been pretty fortunate that we haven't had that in the Jersey Head community. But it's very prevalent, I know, in the sneakerhead community, and I certainly know firsthand how prevalent it is in the FHS, the Fitted Society. And there's a real ugly side to it. There really is. It's a scary thing. It really is.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys this, and this is a very open-ended question, but what factors do you find, do you see that could potentially stop or slow down your collecting? Obviously there's bills, there's money, but what kind of outside forces do you see yourself that will stop you from
women? No, I'm kidding.
No, really, honestly, women, that's a good example. But
to me, it'll be a child. Bringing a child to this world, and to me, like I said, I live in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, and I know there's a bigger world out there that I want life experiences. That to me, that's what it is, life experiences, and I want to bring it up again, but the passing of the former kings that we had, to me, that's an eye-opener for me, because once again, they didn't take these jerseys with them, and I'd rather have life experiences than something just sitting in my closet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, I feel like for me too, the outside things, pretty much the same thing. If it got to a point where I realized I can't pay what I need to pay, or I'm deciding whether to do something with my lady on the weekend or get a jersey, then it becomes a point where I got to get my priorities straight. But luckily for me now, it's not affecting me in that way. But if it got to that point, then that's when that would be the outside source for me that would slow me down.
Okay. MDIDDY, JMAC, Mighty, do you guys have any input on this question or no comment?
Yeah, for me, I think it's just about enjoyment. I've had thoughts, even as recent as a month ago, where I was there were certain things that I was stressed about, and I was like, I don't know whether it's the best place for me to be in the Jersey community right now with all this other stuff that's like higher priority in my life. And just being mindful of that. But then also, even with the custom stuff, like really looking at the people that I want to do the work for. Because there's a lot of people out there that I've done business with that, were kind of looking for things that were not aligned with the way my business is set up to run. And it almost makes you resent the work at that point when you've got somebody that's barking at you over some bullshit, and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. And so I think, for me, as long as I still have that feeling when I cut a new piece of twill or a design that I'm excited about, or that Rez is excited about, or Neil or Albert, that's what I need to have. And then as far as the retail stuff, one thing that could definitely impact is Nike just not making shit. It's going to be a whole hell of a lot easier for me to not spend money if Nike doesn't make the items that I want. And I'm not the type of person, no offense to people that collect like this, but I'm not going to buy a Swingman. I'm not going to buy a replica. That's just me. That's always the way I've been. I told you I was like that when I was 10. I'm 40 years old. That shit's not changing now. So, that's another thing that could happen.
Don't want that bullshit Swingman.
If that happens, then, it'll just give me more focus into doing some of the stuff that I know that I can create, so, that's it for me.
Got it.
Before somebody else goes ahead, I'm gonna leave the panel just in case somebody else wants to come in. But thank you, Rez, for your time and the panel and the discussion, man. Everybody in the panel and everybody in the comments, appreciate you guys, man. Like I said, hit that thumbs up for Rez, man. Show him some love, man.
I appreciate you,
Snacks. Take
Have a
care.
good night, man, and stay dry.
I appreciate you guys.
Man. Appreciate it. But Mighty, I mean, and JMAC, what are some things that might?
Well, I think the universal answer is family and kids. If you had a significant other and you had kids, I mean, that would certainly slow it down. But again, I guess for me, it's irregardless of that. I can't see it. I guess the easy answer for me is when I'm dead, because this is just too much part of my life. It's not just too much, it's too much part of me. I mean, as you can see in the back, I'm surrounded by sports. I surround myself with it. I love it too much. I'm not going to stop something that I love because there's too much in this world that is going to put you in bad situations. I want to have something to enjoy, and this is what I enjoy. And I'm not going to stop doing something that I enjoy, even if I have a family, just because, and it will slow down, but it's never going to stop. This is just how I am. I can't, and I know people can say, oh, well, how do you say you can't? You can. No, I know I can. It's too much in me. This is who I am, and this is who I'm always going to be.
Well,
I was this way when I was young. I'm this way now. I'm going to be this way when I'm old and hunched over in a walker with a jersey on and a fitted, some crazy colored hat on my head. That's just how I am. As long as I have the excitement, as long as I have the joy of collecting, of getting these things in, of looking forward to the next Rivalry Sportswear jersey, per se, or Mitchell and Ness jersey, or, whatever concoction Nike makes up of the City Connect, whatever, blah, blah, blah jersey, right? I'm going to go after these things because this is what I know I can do. Now, I might not go after them with the fervor at one point maybe just conveyor belt, getting stuff in. But I'm always going to be looking, and I'm always going to be collecting, because that's just who I am. It's my dad. This is how I'm wired. This is who I am. I can't stop being something that I am. So, as you know, when does it stop? Like I said, easy answer is when I'm in the ground. And even then, I might be, saying in my will, keep putting jerseys down there. Just the new whatever Mitchell and it goes down there. Diddy, rivalry. I'll leave the address of the gravestone. You can
No flowers, no stones. With the jerseys.
Jerseys and hats.
I have another guest I'm gonna let hop on right now, and we got Pistol to the motherfucking third in the building.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
What up,
Or
man?
This evening, rather.
Chilling.
What's up, man? Thanks for joining, man.
Super team.
So, Pistol, man, I don't know.
Super retirement home team, but we'll see.
But you saw the title, man, of the video of
Yes,
the
sir.
stream. Obviously, collecting. You're a collector as well. But man, I want to hear your thoughts, man. Like on this whole realm of collecting. Like, how do you take it? How do you absorb this?
When is enough? That's a hard question to answer. I mean, because every year, your team comes out with new merchandise. Because right now I'm at the state to where I want to collect only my teams. But as far as when is enough, like when do you need enough Kobe jerseys? I don't think I'll ever stop collecting per se. But that just goes with anything, like with the movie collections. I got a massive movie collection. Like that's something I'm into outside of sports. I love collecting movies. Occasionally I like collecting figurines, hats. I'm not a sneakerhead by all means, so I don't have any sneaker collections. But yeah, as far as the jerseys go, I think I'm gonna continue. I don't think it'll ever stop. But over time, I don't know. I can't say when or how.
Yeah, it's one of those questions that's like I said. Everybody.
What up, Mike? How you doing?
Everybody has a different answer for it, but ultimately, definitively, we don't know. And I know Mighty, his direct answer was when he's dead, when he's not here anymore. And
yeah, and he was saying even when he's dead, he's still gonna collect. His ghost be on eBay. Woo!
It's tough. It's really tough, man. And I was hoping, that I could really try and hit this one on the nail, and just really get a definitive answer. But it seems like we don't have one, and that's just kind of how this realm.
I think I'll officially stop when the authentics become extinct. Like it's a really scary sign, but that's my only answer. Say football stopped selling authentics and basketball stopped selling authentics. I don't know. It's not a clear answer because Swingmans did grow on me over time.
But let's say this. So obviously you're referring to jersey collecting, but I'm talking about collecting in general. Let's say sports just completely died. That's it, no more. That's it. But you said that you collect other things like movie stuff and all that, and
oh yeah.
Would you collect something else, or how would you go about that?
I'd probably just stick to movie collecting. If sports died, I mean, obviously, what's the point of continue collecting?
Yeah.
With sports,
right?
But with your Power Ranger collection, you could always collect until you have everything, right?
Well,
because obviously you follow only the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger era, like most of us.
That's actually false because I stopped after Zeo.
Oh,
My little nerdgasm is hitting right now, man. So I had to correct you. Look, no, I'm just kidding.
yo, that's the old Turbo Power Rangers.
No, this is Zeo right here. But yeah. So like when it comes to Power Rangers, that's a great example, Pistol, because
Or Hot Toys that you warned me about.
yeah, that's another thing, you know, because like, see, like that's another thing that I didn't really touch on. So like this stuff right here, like Funko Pops, they're something that is very, very oversaturated.
Yo, bro, you warned me about those damn Funkos.
It's addicting, man, and there's a whole like.
And the crazy part about it, there's fakes of those too.
Oh,
there's fake toys. It's like, damn, you can't catch a break, can you?
I mean, that just kind of goes hand in hand with collecting, but you know, like just kind of going back to like just collecting in general. Like for the Funkos, like I had to really pump the brakes on those.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like full on, like just foot on the brake, like emergency brake up. Like it got to that point.
Yeah, like let me give you an example. The most rare Funko Pop that's a holy grail of mine right now is the Schmeagol with the fish. That's the rarest one out of the Golems era
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean, like with the Funkos, like it's one of, you know, like for me personally, like I like collecting them. I like them. I like the idea of them. But like that was a perfect example of like when is enough enough? Like this was enough. Like this was enough for me, along with like the hundreds of other Funkos that I collected. And I'm not gonna lie, look, I still buy Funkos and stuff, but I had to really like I said, I had to really pull myself back and like stop.
So,
like, this is enough.
So would you say your Funko collection is bigger than your jersey collection?
No, not anymore, because I sold off a lot of them. You know, to the point where it's just like, you know, I don't get that thrill like I do with the jerseys. I guess I think a lot of it has to do with just the oversaturation of how many are available or how many they pump out, and then also the community. I felt like the community wasn't very like doing it for the passion. They were doing it just because of the resale value. Or
like there's people out there that are in there to make the grind, or they really enjoy their stuff. But with me, with the Hot Toys, I only have one. You already know what that is.
Yeah.
But the second one I won is probably Darth Vader. Then I'm gonna stop right there. And I don't know. With Hot Toys, you just gotta get what you like.
Yeah. I mean, just in general, like I think in general, like collectibles, like I enjoy collecting collectibles. Like I really do. My only thing, and I'm going to highlight what Michael said, is this right here. He said the real issue is space.
Yeah, that's what these figures hurt, is the space. You gotta have the space for these.
Everything from jerseys to sneakers to collectibles takes up space, and you know, I guess that would really pose something as an issue for me.
Yeah,
hey, I can't
anymore. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, that's the perfect example of me being like, I can't collect anymore because of the space. I just don't have the room for it. So at that point in time, I have to really start thinking about what am I going to do? You know, like if I want to still collect, but I just don't have space. So I have to find other options. You know, I have to rent. I think about getting a storage unit. I have to think about.
Yeah, that's another investment right there, man. Is the storage unit. You got to pay monthly for that shit. Otherwise, they're gonna sell you shit on auction.
I have one, but I split it with my fiance. So
okay, that helps.
It helps, but it doesn't, because her side, you know, we kind of split it in half. It's not a big unit, but like, you know, her side of the stuff is like things for like home essential goods, and then my stuff is just like utility bins with bagged jerseys and like, you know, just like other things like decor, you know, like just it's not.
Yeah.
So, you know, like we're already going in here like almost 2.5 hours, and you know, I know it's getting kind of late out there for some of you guys, but I do want to kind of wrap things up with this episode, and I kind of want to just like end it with one final question, and I'm going to ask it again because we've obviously heard each other's stories and perspectives and, you know, our take on stuff, but I'm going to ask it one more time, like, when is enough enough? And I'm going to go through the room one more time.
I'm gonna go since nobody's talking yet, but with the movies, I'm gonna collect forever. Because and another thing I want to say, like, everybody like that came to my house and wanted to chill and watch a movie or whatever, they're like, damn, you got a massive movie collection. Like, we've spent an hour looking for a movie to watch. They're like, yo, this reminds me of the old school Blockbuster days. So as far as movies and sports memorabilia and stuff, I don't think that's gonna stop.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You guys have anything else that you guys want to throw out there about the like just collecting?
Yes, I'll say with the I mean, I'll talk jerseys because that's mostly what I collect and like to wear. But the older I've got, I've realized there's things that, you know, maybe 7, 8 years ago I said, oh, I'm never gonna like that or never be like that or never wear that. And then as time goes on, it changes that my opinion of things changes. So I know realistically that, you know, one day I could wake up maybe 2 years from now and say, you know what, I don't feel like collecting jerseys anymore. And so I know that could happen. And if it does, I'm not gonna regret the jerseys I have because I know that they gave me joy at one point. So for me, I know at any day, you know, I could change my mind on anything. So it could happen, but like I said, it would just be. But I could also see me being like Mighty Fan is it never happening. So, but if it does, I wouldn't regret the collection I do have. I would just, you know that it gave me joy and just be happy with, you know, the time that I did enjoy it. You know what I mean? And just enjoy it right now while I do have it and do enjoy it.
For me, I don't want to have a warehouse, to be honest. So yeah, I just purchased my first home. But it's not a house; it's an apartment. You know, so it's in New York City, which means it's a small apartment.
Congrats.
Oh, thank you. I mean, but I have a walk-in closet now, but I still, you know, do not want to dedicate that entire thing to jerseys. So for me, it's like the amount of space that I have, I don't want to look crazy. I know that I would look crazy if I had like a warehouse of jerseys. I have nowhere to put them, you know? So even though I talked about making a list and then you get those that were on the list and you put more on the list, but I find a way to get rid of some of them, you know, like sell some of them off, and just, you know, there's always jerseys that I want that I don't have, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna like literally try to get every single one because that would be, there's just too many players I like and like too many teams over the decades. I mean, like, so it'd be, you know, first of all, it'd be impossible, but second of all, it's just not practical and it's not like, it doesn't make sense money wise, which doesn't really usually stop me, but you know, space wise, I don't want a warehouse. So the question, when is too much, you know, when I fill up the storage that I'm willing to allot to it. You know, so.
I would say for me, like, when is too much not, or like when I would stop is probably, you know, if I just stopped having that passion for it or that enjoyment. I think as long as you know, are mindful of your own limitations financially, you don't get overwhelmed, and you still enjoy it, keep doing it. But if I get to a point too where, you know, maybe I just don't enjoy like the players that are in the particular leagues anymore, like I just don't connect with them. I like the game has changed and I don't really like it anymore. Baseball kind of started to do that a little bit, like over the last like 5-6 years for me. I just didn't find myself like really being engaged in any of the players that were out. Like, but the last few years, there have been some like new younger guys that have come into the league that I really enjoy watching. So, you know, that's the only thing that I could see where, you know, it would just affect it to the point where I wouldn't want to get anything. Kind of the same thing with the Nike thing that I said, because I feel like where I'm at right now, I'm just looking to get stuff that resonates with me, and I'm fortunate enough to kind of have a means of like doing a lot of that. Like if I want a Barry Bonds jersey, number 7 rookie, like I can make it. Like if I just am patient and I do the work that needs to be done, I can like make it happen. So, you know, that's the other thing would be health issues. Like if I felt like I had an illness that, you know, that it was going to be hard and like things weren't looking good, then I would probably obviously stop accumulating then, because I look at what I have now and I think about, you know, like my mom knows they're worth money, but she doesn't know exactly what they're worth. And, you know, like I have friends that know they're worth money, but they don't know exactly what they're worth. So, you know, obviously I'd stop accumulating then and just try to transition more into the, you know, like, hey, this is what I've got. Like, this is, if anything happens, this is what you should do. So, yeah, that's it. That's what I would say.
Okay. There's another question here that Mike brought up, and actually this is a great question. I'm going to ask this question. But he said, here's something to ponder. Who will you bequeath your jerseys to? So that's
They're coming into the coffin. Come on.
Huh?
They're coming into the coffin.
Yeah, Albert said you can't take them with you, but I mean, you could, right?
I've heard stories about like ancient people and ancient civilizations that like were like, they were like, you know, lords, you know, and when they passed away, like literally, like they told like the people, like the peasants or whatever, that they wanted to be buried in all their like treasures or whatever they were collecting.
They wanted to be buried in a gamer.
Like, can you imagine that, dude? Like, just like, you know, like fast forward into the future, man, where you like, there's archaeologists like digging like in Philadelphia, which is now like Utopia or whatever, and then they like find meals like
Indiana Jones is getting my rivalry jerseys.
That's insane, dude. Like, I never thought about that because that's a great question because my bad. No, I don't know. You know, like obviously I would say like when I'm no longer around, like if I have all this stuff still, like I pass it down to my offspring, you know, my kids, you know, or somebody, one of my loved ones, you know, from my family. But like, what if they're not into this stuff?
Right.
You know, then what? They're gonna be like, what the hell am I gonna do with all this crap? You know, so that's
I think for me, I'd probably set up like the Mac Wilson Jersey Trust, and I'd name like Neil, Rez, and Albert trustees, and I'd be like, all right, guys, like you need to sell all these jerseys. They are going to the benefit of, you know, my niece and nephew or something like that. And then, you know, I'd have to get you guys to sign up to be trustees or something. But I mean, it is a really serious question. I mean, especially for some of us, you know, like there's significant financial value tied up. And then when you look at what your assets are, and, you know, that's something that, especially as we all get a little bit older, like it's a serious thing, like things like that and insurance and like grown up topics, you know, start to become a little bit more real and relevant. So
absolutely.
Yeah, for me, I mean, as of now, I don't really plan on having kids, but you know, if I do, this could change. But I have 3 brothers, so I'm hoping at least one of my nephews or future nephews are into sports as much. So, you know, that's who I would want to be able to share that passion with and pass it on to, obviously, when I get older.
Yeah, that's real. What about you, Mighty Fan? That's a question that is going to echo.
Festive. No, I have no idea. I have no, you know, it's just not something that really enters the realm of thought. At some point, it will have to, and I'll have to try to figure it out. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe if Slim's still around, hey, Slim, handle this.
Did you ever try to
I don't know. I
Just
you know,
swimming
I
in your
just it's hard to think that way because you're not thinking that way, right? But that is the reality of it. I mean, listen, we lost Ron recently, and he had a massive collection, and I think he put I believe his son in charge or family in charge of the collection, and I don't really know what's going on there, but it's a hard thing because you're entrusting, and listen, it's family, so you're going to do that. You're entrusting someone else with your possessions after you move on, and that is a good question because who do you entrust it to? Is it family? Do you have, you know, do you go the donation route? I mean, listen, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's clothing. I mean, it might be doing good for people who need it, who are in need of clothing or something. Maybe there's like a somehow to make sure that sports fans, you know, get this stuff. Although some of them at that point might not know who some of these players are. Who's that guy?
Goodwill Gamers?
Yeah, it's
Goodwill Gamers.
it's tough. It's a tough question to answer. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. I just think that it's you know, again, I'm not thinking in those terms right now, and obviously I don't have a significant other. I don't have kids, so I'm not really, you know, in that boat at this point in my life. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, but hey, knowing that it's not slowing down the train. I mean, I'm the what's that? Darn, I knew the name of it before I came on. What was that show with the train? Snowpiercer, right? So I'm like the Snowpiercer. I just keep moving.
Yo, welcome back, King. Thanks for tuning in.
Dang,
What's
you're
good?
dry.
What's up, man?
Yes.
The current question is, who will you bequeath your jerseys to, man, when you're no longer around, man?
Probably be one of y'all.
Really?
Yeah, my kids don't give a shit about sports. So
Wow.
there's that. So
I'm shocked.
yeah. So whoever I like the most, I'll probably divide it.
Hey, King, did I ever tell you, man, that you look real good today, man? You're looking a lot more like, you know, swole.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, you know,
I'm trying, man. It's hard.
yeah. So you might want to consider me giving you your collection. You know.
At the risk of losing part of my inheritance,
Taking his first beer.
that hoodie that you have messes with me so bad. Like, it's so close to the color of your skin on one picture I saw. I thought you had a hood growing out the back of your neck.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, that's crazy though, man. Because like, you know, that's a question. Like, I didn't think about that. You know, I didn't think to ask that. And
That's a good one.
like, but yeah, man. I mean, obviously, when we're all gone and no longer around, you know, who is gonna take that stuff? You know, we're not gonna be able to take this up with us. You know, when we're no longer around here. And you know, just to kind of go back to Ron, you know, who was a fellow OG King, you know, really, really solid jersey collector, man. His collection, if you guys don't know, he had one of the best collections that I've seen. And you know, he recently passed away, and another fellow King, Herbie, passed away as well. Rest in peace to him, and my condolences go out to him and his family. But I mean, like, these are questions that we don't really ask ourselves, but I feel like we should.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an easy question to have. You know, it's like writing a will. Writing a will is never easy. You know,
I want my wife to sell it. I mean, we thought about. So I have a bunch of ideas. You know, you got to think about your you know, around the time you retire. So between 401ks and pensions, house equity that you build if you put down on a mortgage, or you pay off or pay down on a mortgage. So just thinking about, like, you know, so I always thought if I ever
if I still collect until my kids are ready to go to college, my two young ones. I have an older one that's actually in college that I put anybody who has kids definitely put into a 529. Roth IRAs are great for you for your personal reasons. So, yeah, those things. Well, no. So if for whatever reason I had a collection still, and my two young ones are of age, I'd probably sell most of my collection at that point to at least pay for their, college at that time period. Other than that, because what I'm gonna be 55 with fucking Ken Griffey Juniors or fucking LeBron 10s on. Of course, I'll still, because of the love of the game that we have, I probably still want to enjoy it, but I'm sure I'm not gonna be on Instagram searching the latest release. So times would be different. So I wouldn't mind it being lucrative for my family. At least my hobby did something, and that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's real.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, it's getting kind of late out here, so I'm gonna start wrapping it up, man. I do want to thank everybody that tuned into this live. It's a great topic. A lot of people was live on the comment section. Everybody wanted to hop on. I wish I could let more people on at the same time, but unfortunately I have the basic ass version of StreamYard. So if I want more people to hop on, I gotta pay some moolah out of my pocket, man. But who knows, if this grows to be bigger than what it is, I'll definitely have to reconsider. But before I go, man, I do want to thank everybody that participated. I want to give you guys some time to, just plug your page and, just let us know in the world what you're about, man. So I'm going to start off with Bay Area Throwbacks. Jonathan, I know you don't have any social media, but is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm Jonathan. I just got my YouTube page, Bay Area Throwbacks. Pretty much just focus on different Bay Area teams. That's what I stick to. Just show off my jerseys and other things, old stadiums, and just different, whatever I feel like sharing. So if you want to check me out, Bay Area Throwbacks on YouTube, that'd be dope. That's pretty much it. So thank you for letting me on.
Always, brother, always. And I appreciate you hopping on every week, man. It really does mean a lot. We'll work on a collab real soon, man.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
We got something cooked for the viewers, man. So salute.
Dope.
All right, Mighty Fan, you are up next, my good friend.
Okay, well, Mighty Fan here. I have a YouTube channel, Mighty Mouse Fan 78. You can check me out on there. I'm on Instagram at Mighty Fan. Just living the life. I do a series on YouTube I just started recently, In the Life, and it's basically, going over the life of a collector and, what it pertains. There's a lot that goes into it, and I try to show that in the series. It's been a lot of fun so far. I look to have more fun with it going forward, and I'm just someone that has a passion for this. I've had a passion for many years, and I can't see this slowing down. And it's just like my dad once said, this is just how I'm wired. It's just how I am. I'm glad to share that passion with all of you. I'm glad to share that passion with anyone else in the community, or even if you're not in the community, you're a sports fan. Make sure you catch my vids and sub to me on there and sub to me on Instagram. I'm also, of course, involved in the hat community, the Fitted FHS community. I'm on the YouTube channel Views from the Vault with the fellas there from time to time, and we chop it up about hats or sports. So it's always fun. I got Combo Wombos on there. So, I'm on a lot of different platforms, but it's all because I have this big passion for sports and the collecting thereof for jerseys and hats. And Rez, I thank you again for allowing me to come on here on your platform and this channel. And I always say this with my channel. I have to say this for Rez's too. If you haven't already done so, smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the man because he puts out wonderful content, even though he does the model look from time to time. Over there, I don't know what's over there, but there's something important over there. But Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you always get notified for future content for Rez. And Rez, we're also, proud of you and what you do in this channel and what you've done in the community as well. Thanks again.
I appreciate that, Mighty Man. And go check out and subscribe to Mighty Mouse Fan. You can find him on YouTube and all his other social media platforms. I'll also link his page below if you guys want to see his shenanigans and whatnot, man. So thank you. I appreciate you. All right. We're going to move on to my guy, King Leonidas.
Yo, what's up, man? So, this is not about me. If you guys don't know me, I'm King Leonidas on Instagram, King Leonidas on YouTube. But again, it's not about me. I want to give a shout out to everybody on this video chat. So, Bay Area Kicks, I know you just logged off. Great content coming. Just started, I guess, not too long ago. But glad Snack showed us his channel. Awesome channel. JMAC just put a collection video out maybe about a couple of weeks ago. Great collection video. All his NBA stuff. Mighty Fan, Snacks, all you guys are putting out recent stuff. MDIDDY, I'm waiting on you to put out some shit for us to make us blow our mind out because we need that. The culture needs that. So stop fucking with us. Please put out some stuff. And Rez, man, I appreciate the platform. Me and you chat almost every day like weirdos. And I appreciate the love and the respect that we have for each other. And yeah, that's that, man. Much love to all of y'all and have a good night.
It's all love, man. Thank you, King. I appreciate you. Go subscribe to the homie. He has an awesome collection. And yeah, great guy all around, man. Appreciate you. All right, JMAC, the Fanatic. What's up, bro? What you got for us? You're muted. We can't hear you, man.
Oh shit, I was on mute. I said, yeah, music for my promo.
Music for your promo.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. JMAC Fanatic. JMAC on Instagram. JMAC_the_fanatic. And on YouTube, just JMAC the Fanatic. So join me. Yeah.
Right on, man. I appreciate you hopping on and from one wrestling fan to another, man. Just got to keep grinding, man. All right, Rivalry, aka MDIDDY. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Man, this was fun. I appreciate everybody that came out. If you want to check out the stuff that I'm not posting, it's on Rivalry_Sportswear on Instagram and YouTube. There's a couple of decent YouTube videos that I put up, I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago. And I do have some stuff coming, but I'm trying to get a bunch of things done before 2021 is out. So I will try to put up some more stuff between now and the end of the year, and looking forward to it. And yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to bringing new items to people that really are passionate about jerseys coming into 2022. And appreciate Rez. He's doing great stuff. I really enjoy these lives. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the man. And, if you want to subscribe and like my stuff, that's cool too. And everybody else here on the panel, definitely appreciate the conversation and the camaraderie, man. It's good for the culture, as King said.
So, yeah, facts, man. And I want to, just thank you for really kind of just giving back to the community with what you do and your knowledge, man. I every time I hear you guys speak, I soak it up like a sponge. So appreciate you, man. I hope to see you again on my next live stream. Subscribe to Rivalry Sportswear. He's doing big things for the Jersey community and just all around a solid guy, man. All right, guys. So I will leave the stream. I will end it now. But before I go, just in closing, I want to say, again, thank you to everybody that's chimed in on this episode, man. You guys, if this is your very first time, tuning into my live streams, I do these streams every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you guys live out on the East Coast. But it's different topics every week. Sometimes we'll talk about jerseys, sometimes we'll talk about wrestling, sometimes we'll talk about life, sometimes we'll talk about whatever I might dabble myself with, but at the end of the day, it's always great conversations. So I do want to thank you guys again. I know there's a storm out there on the East Coast, so you guys be safe. Yeah, man, that's all I got. Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys real soon, and I'll see everybody in the live stream next Wednesday. Signing off, guys. We out.